Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Synth Geekery, episode number 252. We are 2 weeks out from you guys. I don't know what you guys would have done with yourselves for 2 weeks. I had the flu the first week, and then I had a camp and a flu the second week. And I'm still a bit fluey this week, but it's not too bad. Definitely not feeling ill or anything. It's just the remnants of a cold. Little cough here and there and that sort of stuff. So we're all good. Nice to have you all. It'll probably be a boutique show this week because everyone will forget about me because it's been 2 weeks. So we'll just we'll persevere. But we do have our regulars here. I think Andy may be away. Andy, as in SynthAddict, may be away in I think it's Pittsburgh. Yeah, I think he's in Pittsburgh. Look, he might call in. He might not. We'll see what happens anyway. See how we go. But, as always, it's nice to have Daren and Ian and Chris. Chris has come from such a long way away. Yeah. But the other guys, their electrons travel further.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's say good day to them as we go. We'll start with, I think this button should be Ian. Hey. Oh. I just wanted to check out your camera because it looks really crispy and clean.
It does, doesn't it? Although I seem a bit jerky, which is weird. Seeing I'm on a so-called fast connection here in the southwest of England. Good day, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. What have I been up to? I went to a wedding last week. My eldest son got married. So we had a nice weekend in London, which was fantastic, really. So I've got all my children are now married, which is quite nice.
Hooray.
What else have I been doing? I started the keyboards are set up over here for this alt country gig that I may get. I've got first rehearsals in about a week's time, or it could be an audition depending on how you look at it. I'm treating it like an audition because I haven't met the guy yet, so we've just had lots of conversations over email. So got accredited for Edinburgh Fringe again. So we're getting the emails on that. People saying come and see your show, which is nice, but you do get inundated quite a bit, really. I went to a really good gig last night. I knew where the venues were in Frome, but 10 minutes walk from me, there's and it's actually above a pub. Is a really, really nice sort of grassroots venue, and I went to see a band called Skinny Lister last night. No synths, it was sort of folk punk, but actually they were really, really. They had so much energy on stage. These three guys and a girl, they were amazing, absolutely amazing. I knew nothing about them. It was a bit of a punt, 10 quid ticket. Thank you very much. Good week really.
Awesome, beautiful. Who else do we have here? Chris.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks, mate. How are you?
Good, thank you.
You good? Yes. Heard you're a bit sick, but on the mend, so that's good. Yes. I've had a busy last couple of weeks. The first thing is I launched a new product on my Etsy store. The Cable Monster finally went live. Yeah, the office is shutting down, and I've scored a few bits of furniture, which I'm going to put into the studio here. One has already gone into the studio. It's one of those cabinets, just wooden cabinets with the drawers in it, and that's where I'm going to now keep all my manuals and things and empty boxes full boxes of modules, similar to what I think you had set up, Ranzee. I installed a frame up there, which you probably can't really see. It's good because I've done it right, which is holding lights and camera stuff. And as you can see by my background, I went a bit bonkers with LED lighting. It wouldn't look that crazy normally, but I lost the remote control wasn't with it, so I can't change the remote control for setting. So if it gets a little bit too crazy and distracting, I'm probably going to turn it off. Yes, okay. And the other exciting bit of news is, I bought something.
Oh.
Welcome to the Ranzee and Synth Geekery show. Did that come through?
It's coming through, yeah. The
Yeah.
Spectravox.
The Synth Geekery show. Hang on. Think of it. The Synth. Welcome to the Synth Geekery show. So there you go. So you know what I've done there. I bought the old Spectravox, which is a lot of fun. But I swear that's the first day I've done cheesy vocoding with it. All the other days I've been playing with it. The other days I've been playing with the other aspects of it, which have been quite good fun. So yeah, ask me anything you want to know about that later in the show, I guess. I'll give you my impressions. So it's an interesting box.
Definitely, we'll check it out, that's for sure.
Yes, so apart from that, I don't have anything else on my list, so yeah. But yeah,
Awesome.
bit of a crazy couple of weeks for me.
Awesome. All right, we'll pop over to say hi to Daren. Hey.
Good day. Good evening. I'm not going to do what Ian says because that's his.
Oh, go on.
Yeah.
No, go on.
It's just good afternoon for me. What? It's 2 weeks, isn't it? It's been quite a while. What have we done in the 2 weeks? Had issues, but we don't need to go into them. I released the remixes 2 weeks ago, I think it was. And thank you very much, Chris.
Hi, welcome, mate.
That's great. It's always good to know, especially when you get. I've not replied to you yet, but yeah, it's always good to get feedback as well, which is important.
You're welcome.
What else have I done? Been messing about. I came up with ideas for, well, a big idea actually for live setting, which is like, even though I've not live set my recent rig, I just get swept away, and I've got this bigger idea which will be slowly being hinted at over the course of me being around on the show at times. So there'll be things around just giving ideas of what it's going to be like, what it's going to be called, because I'm not redoing it because the live set's still going to be used as a live set when I get out live, but I've got ideas for it, so that's ongoing. And you'll but other than that, I've really not had a chance to be in the studio much and do a lot. So apart from getting that sort of remixes album, EP, whatever you want to call it, out, I've just not had time in the studio. It's that time of year when I'm working a lot and don't get much time to do much in the studio. So but one thing I will be doing is that I will be releasing a track tomorrow, and it's a collaboration track between me and Ted's, which is Steve. We did one a little bit ago called what's it called now? Damn, forgot what the name of the track was called. But this will be a new one tomorrow. Will be coming out about dinner time, 12 o'clock. So it's a collaboration track. So that's basically what I've done over the past 2 weeks. So I know nothing on music. So yeah, that's it. Bit of a boring thing for you to listen to, really. Like I say, I've had other issues that have been stopping me doing things, and let's just say. But other than that, it's all good.
That sounds good. Awesome. We also have Andy here, and he's popped in all the way from, I believe you're in Pittsburgh. Is that right, Andy?
Wow.
Hey guys, can you hear me okay?
Hi, Andy.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah, I'm on the outskirts of Pittsburgh, actually on the outskirts of Monroeville, which is where the mall is, where they're having the Living Dead weekend.
Yeah, I saw your live stream. Saw you walking through the cemetery.
Yeah, just this. That was Night of the Living Dead Cemetery in Evans City. That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have some more stuff to upload. It's been some signal problems, as you would imagine, in certain buildings and the areas. So I have stuff to upload later that was shot locally. I have like hours of stuff yesterday I didn't get a chance to upload yet. So if I have signal, I try to do it live. Otherwise, I just, shoot it locally. I hope I have time to upload it later. This little, you can see it's kind of dark in here, but you can see this little hotel. I have the old wood paneling, like it's something out of Twin Peaks. And it's really noisy. You can probably hear the cars going by. There's a highway right outside. Cars whizzing by all night. So it's not the most quiet area, but there's also no Wi-Fi. So I had to go on my phone real quick since the tethering didn't work for some reason. But I just wanted to pop in and say hi to everybody. And I actually have to. It's 3 hours ahead here where I am, so I have to basically get ready now and hurry off to the first panel of the day, where they're talking about Dawn of the Dead. So I won't be lingering, unfortunately, but I just wanted to say hi to everybody and hope everyone's doing well. We
definitely are, and it's nice to have you here, and it's also nice to watch your little what is it, Dawn of Dawn of the Dead, and what was the other one?
Well, he shot a lot of. This is Romero country, so he shot all of his movies here until the late '80s, early '90s.
Yeah,
so,
I remember some of them.
Living
But,
Dead. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Night of the Living Dead. I think most of us have seen that.
Yeah, Martin, the vampire movie, Martin, The Crazies, which is like a biohazard movie.
Oh, The Crazies, I've seen that.
That was shot in Evans City. Martin was shot in Braddock. If you saw my live stream, did I shoot live there, or did I actually? I forgot if I shot local or live. I went through Braddock at one point, and Braddock's just this horrible, depressed steel town where the steel mill's still going. I drive by it, but the town is dilapidated and just falling apart. Very sad. Yeah. So
Awesome.
The rest of the time it's mostly in the mall, but yeah, good times. So
Fantastic.
I'll let you guys go because I'm not even talking synth stuff now. So
we know it's one of your
I'm a
loves.
big American fan, Randy. Yeah, Dawn of the Dead is a great film.
Yeah,
oh, it's amazing, and the remake is crap.
Yeah.
So just watch the old one.
Yeah,
watch the old one, definitely.
So that's
there is
1970, 1978 version.
78, I think.
It's the one?
The Crazies
78,
remake was okay, but the old Crazies is pretty fun. It's very low budget, but it's fun. So.
Yeah. Awesome. And whilst we also have, well, I don't know who to introduce, Robbie or Kent or just Kent's iPad.
Ah, the gang is back together.
Hi, welcome to Kent's iPad.
How you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
Yeah, very well. Kent, can I say hello? Oh. Are we getting rid of this body or what?
Where's
You
the
got to
vat
talk
of
to
acid?
David Yes first. He has the disposal techniques.
He's putting gaffer over a gaffer.
When shall we three meet again?
Yeah, we just feed them to those things.
Oh.
Hey, hi.
Hello.
Look at them. But look. Shorty.
Charlie
That's
looks
why
like a different dog.
Play the synth. There's a good doggy.
Frankie goes to Hollywood. It's Juno 106. Go on.
I got it. I don't got it.
Oh, wait. It's a
Is that a Juno?
It works.
Ooh.
Yay.
Yeah.
Oh.
There you go.
How you guys been anyway? Good?
Yeah, busy. Oh, I don't know where's the camera on this thing? Yeah. It's there. It's that thing right there.
Yeah, you got it, mate.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, good. Yeah, nice little get together. Kent and Fiona and the dogs and Matt and myself. And yeah, just messing around.
Sun shining.
That's good, man. That's good.
Not really.
Well, sorry, it hasn't shined here since November.
Have a look at what's in the garden. Can you see what's in the garden?
Oh,
I can.
Yeah,
Ferris Bueller's Day Off's in the garden.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
There's 2 Duke the Fours there. It's bonkers.
Been out there a month.
You
So
need
how hot
a
is it?
gazebo.
How hot is it there today? Because I saw a post from JC, Jonathan Cross. You guys will know him, the Hardware Jams guy. And he said it was 107 Fahrenheit.
Mm.
No. might be in his sauna, but not. No, it's about 18 degrees Celsius here at the moment.
Okay, that's weird.
Did you just play that? No, I just played the Juno.
That's the new. That's a name for an album. Noah plays the Juno.
Noah plays the Juno.
And there's a picture of a dog on a Juno.
Yeah. And Charlie's drooling over it now. Stop it. There's sausage rolls. There's sausage rolls. They plate sausage rolls in the corner.
Ah.
And the dog's just like going mental. Anyway, there you go. Just thought we'd say hi.
Yeah, we love you guys saying hi.
Are you feeling better?
About 90% better.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, just getting over the flu, mate. You know, it's weird. I went to see the doc about 4 weeks ago. She goes, "Get a flu jab." So I went and got a flu jab, and then 2 weeks later, I get the flu.
2 weeks later.
The way you got to think about it is, if you hadn't had the flu jab, you'd have felt worse.
It did go pretty quick, like the nasty part. It was only 3 days, I guess, but the other stuff's just hanging around, like the coughing and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, just because I'm old, that's all.
Comes
what
to us
can
all,
you do?
mate.
Yeah. So,
you don't shake stuff as quick as you used to when you're younger.
nah.
Exactly.
I've got some stuff to open, guys, today.
Ooh.
I've got some.
What you
I've
got?
got multiple boxes.
What's in the box?
Go fast until you get down.
I've got a new box too.
They're
I've got
empty.
this.
Just boxes.
Ooh.
So
He's
hopefully
gonna treat his
they may be
studio.
exciting for you guys to see.
Okay.
But yeah, obviously, it's probably too early for beer, is it? Over there.
Yeah.
Hey,
early for vodka.
let's make a
I
new
had
saying.
one of these yesterday. Iron
Oh,
City
the
beer.
iron
That's
thing,
for
yeah.
local.
Yeah. I've got a greeny looking beer today.
Oh. It's looking a bit Gatorade-y or Lucasade.
It's greeny. It's a cider beer. Yeah.
Star Wars liquor.
We should probably get on with the show. I mean,
Might
it's
as
not like
Yeah, Ranzee, I
Well,
gotta grab a
well,
shower,
we're-
so unfortunately I gotta go. So see everybody.
See you, man.
See you, Andy.
Looking
See
forward
you,
to the
Andy.
next
Look for
vids.
more silly live streams later.
Yeah,
Bye.
we'll do. Cheers, mate. Bye.
Okay, bye.
All right. I do want to say quickly hello to the chatties. Hello, chatties. I'm not going to go through all of you this week because it just gets a little difficult to do that. But you guys know who you are. You don't need me to say hi. No, I do. I'll just say hi to all of you. Obviously, a special mention to the channel members and the Patreon members, of course, who are very awesome and they continue to support the channel. So good on you guys. And you'll see them in the chat with little synth icons next to them, like Stephen Smith has got just there. So if you guys want to join Stephen in an awesome club of brilliant people, do that. There's literally a link just below. Okay, well, why don't we go straight to our first segment? Here we go. Stranger things can happen on this show by your eyes bleeding at these memes that are coming down your screen. This is probably a bit of hard-hitting truth here. Me listening to songs mixed by other people, and then me when I'm mixing it myself. I do find myself doing that a little bit on the radio, thinking, "Ooh, that snare was a bit hot, boys." Especially like there's a couple of alternative radio stations I listen to here in my city. Chris will know them. One's RTR FM. Big shout out to RTR. They're a non-profit, so we can shout out to those. And also the other one's a government radio station, so we can shout out to those as well, which is Triple J. And all alternative, which they sometimes play a bit of mainstream, but I find listening to alternative music, you do get some pretty wacky mixes. It's kind of cool. So now, why have we got this open? We might just fix this so that we can get Daren involved, because Daren actually sent me a message during the week.
Aww.
And he said, no, he didn't actually. Right. What else have we got?
Had me.
I have free U2 albums down here. Let's
Bring on the concrete, people.
let's cement this over.
Yes, immediately.
Who else deleted the YouTube albums off of Apple Tunes? Yep.
I deleted iTunes. I'd put it back again like months later.
I think Bono thought at one stage, oh, this is a great idea. And then he realised
Own goal.
afterwards, this is not a good idea. I think he's even been on record saying that it was a bad mistake and he apologised to people. Nothing from Apple, though. Apple didn't say a word. Funny about that.
Apple don't apologise. Oh, actually, they didn't they?
Next. What a beautiful day. Opens the sun, closes the blind, and starts doing his mixes. Unable to.
Oh, yeah.
Darren, is this your life?
There's a bit of that, isn't there?
Yep. What else did we get during the week? We got this. That's how I see myself in the future. Except with a different shirt, because I don't like Behringer. Oh, that was clever, that one.
That's good, yeah.
Everyone's looking at the chuffed guy.
Exactly, yeah. It focuses the good image because it focuses the eye in the area that they don't want you to look at. Yeah.
Yep.
That's clever.
And this one. Nothing is built in America these days. I just bought an electric keyboard and it said built-in speakers. I don't even know where the hell that is. Get off my lawn.
Supporter, man. Exactly, yeah.
Is that not borderline sexist?
Ooh.
Ooh, it needs more representation.
It didn't have the word.
Quick, pull the post down.
It didn't have the word they or them in it, so I think we're okay.
No.
Yeah.
It's
Generic
political,
supporter.
says JP page 2 in chat. The last one is the perks of being a musician and songwriter. I've graphed it up for you. There's your key on the left-hand side. And
Yes, that's how I start my paragraphs too. And then realise I don't have any room to put the things I wanted to mark. Yeah.
all right, okay.
Dear.
How
It's like
about we
time
have?
management.
How about we have one more because it's been 2 weeks. How to make a trombone sound in 10 weeks.
That's a good one.
Has someone literally taken a photo of my Eurorack there? It almost looks
Exactly.
like mine.
It's spooky,
I don't
isn't
have
it?
that touch module.
I have less white modules, more black, so it's not mine. I do trombones fine, easy.
Favorite meme of the week, people?
It's got me between the last two for me.
Let us know in chat what your favorite meme is. Azio Head says trombone.
Pie chart. It's pie chart for me.
Wigoos closing the blinds. Pie chart for half god, half beast.
Yeah.
No perks, says Matt Brown. Pie chart, trombone, pie chart. Behringer, says Anthony.
Oh, one for Behringer.
The breathalyzer, or Sean says he's a sucker for dad jokes. He likes the speakers one. Yeah. Looks like pie chart might have it, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of true.
It's universal too. You can
very-
apply it to
it's very true.
multiple endeavours. Yeah,
It's kinda
you can
true.
apply it to. I think you can apply it to time management. You know, amount time to work in the studio is like red, and there's no red on the pie graph here.
I think my favourite would have been the how to make a trombone sound.
Yeah.
That was my favourite. But the pie chart one was pretty good. Got me laughing.
As long as
Well
you don't
done.
get your cables pulled out.
Darren, stay tuned because in the news section we may like the product that we're going to show. Speaking of news section, let's do it. Don't worry, Daniel. It was an attack. It was a direct attack.
Oh yes.
Let's have a look at this one from Behringer. By the way, it's pronounced Behringer or is it pronounced Behringer, or is it pronounced Moog, or is it pronounced Moog? Let's just make up a name and just make everyone.
Well, I've always
pronounce
called it Behringer. I've always called it Behringer.
Yeah, who cares? All right, Syncussion SY1. This is the latest product. I actually sneaked a little post in Discord during the week. If you're wondering what Discord is, we do have Discord happening during the week. That's Zoom. Which one's Discord? That one's Discord. There you go. bit.ly/Ranzee Discord. Join us on the Discord server because stuff happens between shows. It's the between show chat.
Yes.
And I posted a link on there showing Behringer's sneak preview of a whole bunch of boxes being shipped out. And I happened to spy that it said Syncussion on it. And then literally within a day, they posted it. So we kind of got
Nice
a little sneak.
Nice
we did.
scoop.
Yeah.
I've
Anyway,
forgotten all about it.
they do have a little intro song which I'll play because they'll allow me to do that. And we'll come back in a sec. Let's play the intro song. Don't think we need closed captions. Yep. Does anyone know a bit of history about what Behringer have remade here? Who wants to put their hand up and have a chat about this?
Not really. No, I don't.
No.
I don't know. I know very little about this. Although I do remember playing in a band in the early 80s, and some of those sounds you could get out of it. It was a syndrome. Just a one pad syndrome, which it's just take me back there because those do sounds, bloody hell.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I hated them then and I hate them now. So you know,
put it on loop then.
I was very tempted to start putting vocoding over the top of that introductory mix. So I was like, oh, that'd sound pretty good. No, I can't do that. It's Rance's show.
According to Behringer, it's a recreation of the Pearl Syncussion drum synthesizer from the late 70s. I think 79 was when it came out. It does sound very Simmonsy as well to me. So I'm not sure if there's any link.
Early Simmons kit.
Yeah. I'm not sure if there's any link between the two companies at all. But this one, $199 US will get you this, which is pretty cheap. And it's got a bit of that sort of 70s, 80s feel to it, I kind of feel. Plus, it's got MIDI, which the original didn't have. So, all right. It is, if you're wondering, it's a 6 oscillator drum machine with FM, dual oscillator MOX, dynamic oscillator mix, FM noise mix, and pure noise. And you can shape the sounds with those controls that you can see in front of you there. There's things like tune, decay, filter, cutoff. There's pitch sweeps. There's a whole bunch of stuff with an LFO in there, which has a square and triangle mode on it. So it's kind of a synthy drum, to be fair. Yeah, kind of a synthy drum.
So do we know if the A to F on the left is that the different sounds that you can then?
They're the different oscillator configurations.
Configurations. One of your 6 oscillators, So as I mentioned before, you've got single FM dual oscillator MOX, dynamic oscillator mix, FM noise, pure noise.
Right.
And you just choose one of those, and you fiddle with the tune, the decay, the width, the sweep, and you get 2 of those.
Yeah, I mean for 200 quid, it's great. If you want that sound,
Yep.
You know,
That's the
and you
thing.
haven't got enough. Yeah, I mean, I've got enough drum machines to coming out of my ears.
And-
I don't want this, but for 200 quid, I think it's great.
Well, you have to sequence this somehow, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
You have to trigger
Or
this.
trigger it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The original came with pads, apparently.
This does work with
it's MIDI,
the pads.
It works
I
with
bel-
any pads, yeah.
Yep, I believe. So go check out the video. The video is about 7 minutes long.
Yeah, pretty intense.
Now, originally, Behringer announced this thing way back in 2021. I like a lot of their other products. So they have been teasing this for a while, and I think we may have even shown it on the show when Brooksy was here, and we talked about it back then. The Pearl, do you guys want me to show you what the Pearl one looks like? Because it does look a little different.
Sure.
I didn't prepare it, but let's have a look. Pearl Syncussion. There's one on Reverb right now. Let's have a look at the Reverb one. Okay. Go away with your cookie message. There we go. So you can buy it for $4,000 Australian, £2,000. That's what the Pearl one looked like. So it instead of it being left to right with the two voices, it's a channel. Sorry, I should say, not voices. It's top and bottom.
Top and bottom,
Yeah.
But pretty similar, right?
yeah.
Mm.
It's just pretty faithful, just expanded capabilities.
Now, I think it's a pretty cool product to remake because, I mean, A, you can't get them anymore. And $4,000 for a used one, it's now a no-brainer.
But you wouldn't probably get one, would you, Rance? Because
No.
I could tell you the reason why I'm probably not going to get one. Because the modular.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a wonderful
That's the thing,
company
is it-
called Noise Engineering. Have you guys heard of it?
Yeah.
They
Good
make
noise
some
engineering.
amazing
Amazing
FM
drum modules.
drum modules.
And
Better
there's
than
even
what this thing can do.
Yeah, and there's even ones a bit like this. I've got a module from SynthAddict called the DSM, which is a remodeled version of a pedal.
Yeah.
Which does drum. It's one voice like this. It's got very, very similar controls. So I kind of understood this pretty quickly. The only thing that my module doesn't have is it doesn't have the different configurations of oscillators. But this one does. And it doesn't really have this particular sound, which I imagine would be the thing that if you're craving this particular sound that's been used in tracks that you might love, this would be on your hit list because you want that sound.
So the A to F
I
is
get it.
kind of like your presets, right?
Yeah.
And so you
Kind of.
will get preset-y sort of default sounds out of them. So don't feel like this is going to be like an Arturia drum brute where you've moved a whole bunch of knobs and then you've actually bumped them and then all of a sudden now you can't remember what you had them at before. It's not quite as sound designy as that. It's more sort of immediate. And those little controls there will just kind of make it a bit wackier as such. Yeah. It's not so much sound designing. I feel like that's important. I mean,
you can always go back to the original sound.
Yeah, there is the
quite immediate.
LFO stuff and that you can modulate it and that, but you can
do
turn
some
all that
wacky
stuff
stuff,
off. Yeah. Yep. What are they saying in chat? Let's have a quick look in chat. X101 says he's after one.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. It's the other thing I was going to mention. If you're a drummer or you're into drums, there's a certain kind of attraction to this kind of stuff. I don't know if it's just that Pearl got it right the first time, but or it's just part of our history. But I get the pangs of being back, in the 80s when I couldn't afford synths. Yeah, not doing. I'm not doing the 70s sounds. I'm not doing that.
And another nod to X101 in chat. He did mention that Michigan Synthworks did make the SY 0.5. Which is one of the two channels of a Pearl Syncussion, apparently.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, similar footprint.
Eurorack format.
Yeah,
$500 though.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can't beat Behringer for getting the cost down, can you?
Yeah, but only a mini jack output. That's a bit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, on the back
That's a
there
bit-
are some. Actually, where's
I
the?
want to say I've just been trying to see a picture of the back, and
Yeah, I'll show you.
Tolman
There are
don't
some.
have it.
There's some.
Tolman don't have a picture of the back.
I'll show you some pictures of the back somewhere. Where is it?
Right.
It's on. I'm pretty sure it's on this video somewhere. Well, anyway, here's the photo with a whole bunch of stuff plugged into the back. Right.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's power, USB, and then there would be.
So that output
pedal
is
stuff,
just
isn't it?
for each of the individual channels, two
Yeah.
channels then. So
Yeah.
you could output it to your Eurorack.
Why did they not show the
Could
back
probably
of it?
put it in. Yeah, no, they don't. Well, the pictures I've found on Tillman don't show it, but
The Behringer website might have it. Let's have a quick look.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they usually do.
Behringer
over to the
Syncussion
B-side.
SY1. I was on their website before. Come on. There it is.
there you go. Yeah, so
MIDI through channel 1 and channel
Yeah.
2. And then the MIDI channel dippy
MIDI through.
switchy.
Yeah, they're thinking about chaining them. That's clever.
But look at that.
Yeah.
We've got all that room there
Yeah, I know.
to put a sticker.
When you over the Behringer logo, or
Yeah. Do you know in the old days when they used to cover up the name of the synth because they didn't want anyone to know what type of synth?
yeah.
I used to find
Well,
that funny.
if you open up the panel and there's a lot of space inside, I'll tell you that. I'm sure there will be. You can put your sour grapes in there.
Sorry. All right, we should move on. Next. I mean, yeah, look, $199. I think
It's a steal.
it's a
isn't it?
great
If you-
price.
If you want that sound,
Yeah.
it's fantastic. Yeah.
I don't understand some of the products that Behringer are releasing. I'm like, this must be Yuli's personal list of
Yeah.
what he's maybe been experienced in over the years. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
like,
must be.
how common was that Pearl's? The Syncussion wasn't as common as like the Lin and the Oberheim DMX, and you know there's so many others, weren't there?
There were, and this one was overlooked because it was like, you know, the cheesy 70s, cheesy 70s module that your drummer had that you were trying to get as far away from in the 80s. So
Yeah.
it was a few clever people like oh god, my brain's gone blank. A few clever people who've used it to good effect in their music by picking them up very, very cheap in second-hand stores because nobody wanted them.
You could put this through your new Moog.
Yes, I could.
It would like it,
Yes.
especially with the envelope follower. Anyway, before we get into too much digression, let's go on to the next product. 4MS Meta Module. I was asked in chat 2 weeks ago when we did our mega super booth show, why didn't I show this? Well, the reason why we didn't show this in our mega super booth show was because we've shown it before. So for those who have suggested to me, why didn't you show this module? If you go back through the history of our shows, you'll find that we have shown it before when I think 4MS were first sort of announcing that they were doing this.
Yeah, they pre-announced it way ago, like 6 months. Yeah.
But anyway, just to refresh everyone's memory, this is basically VCV rack in a eurorack module, which you then can manipulate with USB connected to software, and you can pretty much load. In a way, it's kind of like we said this last time. It's kind of like what Roland were trying to get to with their IRA eurorack modules originally. Because you could buy the scooper, for example, and then you plug it into a computer, and then you could change the firmware inside it to an oscillator or an LFO or an ADS or an envelope generator. This is kind of like that, but with a lot more ability because you can, stack things together, and there's a stack of stuff in it. But anyway, it's I don't know. Let's have a look at. I'm going to skim through the video of Sonic State, and you can see they were sort of showing various screens on here, loading different VCV type modules in here, and going through the different aspects of what this thing. So all of those controllers are color coded. They correspond to what's on the screen. You can see the screen has the same color, and you can then manipulate what they are, and they can all be customized as well. Now, Chris, I think you're probably, because it's a meta module, right? I think you'd probably be the most interested in this, because it is basically a computer. It has a pretty powerful processor, a DSP dual core 800 megahertz Cortex A7 Plus, which has got 512 meg of DDR3 RAM, and it also has internal flash RAM as well. But the fact is that they've added over 160 built-in modules to this.
Yeah.
It's
they ported them. Yeah, they're basically apparently the porting process is as simple as loading their toolchain and pressing go.
Which is pretty easy. So the Farco, Hederic CV, nonlinear circuits, scanner Darky. I wish they would have ALM in there, because ALM makes some really nice VCV modules.
Soon. Maybe soon.
Maybe, because you could get MFX into this. Cool. Or you could get Pamela's new workout into this. But anyway, there is an SDK. So the point is that you get this, you can actually transfer whatever's allowable over VCV rack into this. So you can actually you can go sort of through the two different ecosystems. There is the plug-in software that you have to sort of use to go through it, and then it uploads through the USB. Anyway, price, I believe it's going to be about $650. Which is actually a lot cheaper than I thought.
Yeah, it could have been very boutique-y and expensive, but they've managed to make it a decent value proposition if you think of the modules that you can put in there.
They're talking about a few extra things they're going to work with this. I think they're talking about a Wi-Fi expander, and wireless patch control.
Yes.
So there's some
not streaming.
There's some things in the works. These things aren't just words that they've thrown out there to say it'd be nice if it made coffee. It's these are actual things that they've got in dev.
Yeah, and to think that they announced this 6 months ago without knowing fully where they were going with it, and they were pretty transparent about that. They said, "Look, this is what we're working on."
Yep.
I mean, they had a good reason to. I think they had to drum up some attention from the people who make the plugins for VCV Rack, because you get them on board, and that was probably an important part of this whole project for them. But I don't think they're rushing this, and I don't think they're, as I said, throwing around random thoughts. They are genuinely trying to make something quite cool here. So, hats off to them for doing it. A lot of people have tried. It's never quite pulled it off, but quite impressive.
What will kind of be the saving grace or the failure of this will be how those hands-on controls manipulate what module you've loaded into it. And I kind of feel like some VCV modules you'll chuck in there and you'll just go, look, this is just not working on this particular platform because it's not congruent to the controls that we've got.
Yeah. I mean, not every module that's converted to VCV rack is a success.
True.
Alone. Like before you, some modules are just so kind of based upon their physical dimensions and the way you physically interact with them that it could be a bit. I mean, prime example, anything with a touch panel. It's not quite the same touching with a mouse. Although, admittedly, does this have a touch screen? I don't think it does have a touch screen.
See, the person that I would have liked to have seen make something along these lines was Oz from Expert Slapers. Because he's already got so much skin in the game with the digital DC coupling audio interface straight into a DAW/VCV rack. He's got the he's been in that world for 10 or 15 years. So I feel like this could be the next, for him, the next evolution of a disting would be something like this, but down the disting path, which I guess is probably encroaching on ornaments and crime, I guess, but, where do you go?
They're all over.
I mean, it's crossing platforms, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. There is a lot of overlap here. We are in a period where this is, this is what we're going to be expecting, an evolution, slow evolution between the two worlds.
Yep. Don't worry, guys. There's not a lot of Eurorack this week. I promise. This one is pretty big, though. I thought Daren might be interested in this because it looks pretty.
Well, we've seen, like you said, we've seen it early on, and we was quite interested then how they were going to, what they were going to come out with, how it was going to be finally. And like you say, this sort of makes your Eurorack a lot more versatile, and you don't need as big a Eurorack because you're going to get a heck of a lot. Yeah, you can have a nice compact system.
Yep.
So, and like you said, when the price, I would have thought, because I mean, I've got a Polygogo and a few other things that are quite expensive, and they're not as in depth as this. So I was expecting this to be quite. I was thinking it might even be pushing nearly 1,000.
Yeah, me too.
Just under maybe. So for 600, it's looking. It's very interesting. And like I say, you can have a really small rack now and have a good play with your rack without having to have a massive a massive rack like yours, Rans.
Yeah, the flexibility is key, isn't it? I mean, it's the future. We've already said this before. Well,
that's it. If you get a couple of modules like this that are quite compact, like of a lot to them, so you only need a very, very small case. That'll be even better for adding to live sets as well.
Yeah, I like the color. I like the color combination. It looks. I mean, I don't know what it would be like to use it live, but it looks pretty straightforward to see.
That's an interesting question. I wonder what it'd be like to look at in the dark, or whether those colors actually show up, because I don't think they're lit.
It'd be cool if they were all. It would be good if they were illuminated in those colors.
They're definitely not illuminated because there's. I'll show you.
I'm sure it was.
There's a darker shot.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
it's a shame.
I suspect that it was on their wish list,
though, wouldn't it?
Exactly. It would have been on their wish list, I'd say. There would have been a long list of things they want to do.
We can pay an extra $10 or more just to have them coloured. They don't even. They can be static coloured. They don't even have to.
Well, if it only cost you $10,
Darren, or maybe they could just do it instead of having to pay it. They could just do it. I mean,
it only has to be. Oh, it doesn't have to be the full thing coloured. It could just be a coloured LED under each of the.
You could put LEDs around knobs, just like feedback modules do.
Just put and they're not even RGB LEDs. If they put RGB LEDs behind each one of those knobs, that would do it.
Yeah.
I think the difference is it's an aluminium panel, so you can't do the shine through.
You can't do the shine through.
FR2 PCB trick.
Yeah, I know. And I feel like maybe they should have gone with the other panel, and they would have got that benefit, because it's kind of it's a nice modern sort of feel to what they're doing.
Do 4MS always go for aluminium panels though? They may be their sort of bag, if you know what I mean. It's very hard to find.
They're big on cases and stuff, so I reckon they're kind of the metalwork guys.
That's exactly what I was wondering. Yeah.
All right, what else? Let's go. Another eurorack module. Now, I didn't really want to show this not last week, the week before, the week before last, whatever it was, because I kind of thought, we've already talked about this thing for years. But then I had another sort of double take. Oh, hang on a minute. What? There's probably a few things to talk about this. Number one is, if you didn't know, WMD are actually back. They actually got taken over, and they announced in 2022 that they were going to close shop, and everyone was sad and thought, okay. Yeah. I was sad because I've got one of their modules, and I didn't actually realize they'd been taken over, and someone has actually bought them out, and they've continued their design and activities.
Yep, same creative director.
Yep.
Still same guy. Yeah.
This was always in the works, apparently, and they were going to make a second version of the performance mixer with all the suggestions and feedback that they had over the years from people who own one of these things. And then I had another look at this, and I thought, wow, this is engineering where people are listening, is kind of probably where I'll go with it. To look at it, you'll probably think this looks like really confusing, but actually it's not. If you sort of dumb it down into the left section, which is like your matrix, your mixing matrix, right? And the right-hand side is your channels, and then your far right-hand side is like your main master mix, like any mixer has in a way. Yeah. So if you can imagine this as a desktop mixer, that left-hand side would be at the back, right? And then all your channel strips would be across the top console, and then you'd have your master mix on the right. So it kind of fits that topology, if you ask me. Anyway, what's new in the Mark II is the question. By the way, are you sitting down?
It's a long list.
The pre-order price is $14.99.
Oh, okay. Yeah, $14.99.
Yeah. They've always been a bit pricey. These
they've always been. Yeah.
No, that's US dollars.
US.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's not exactly it's the only reason I'm interested, but it's not on my list for that price.
The original one was always a bit pricey as well. I remember them being a smidge over 1,000. Anyway, the new okay. 8 stereo or dual mono inputs, 2 stereo aux, balanced TRS main outs, soft mutes per channel. The soft mutes are important, by the way. We can get into that a little bit later if you need to. Mm-hmm. Group buttons for simultaneous queuing, muting, busing, and routing. So this is handling a lot of bigger sort of mixer duties in a tiny. Well, it's not tiny. It's tiny compared to a big mixer. Pan crossfade switch, crossfade. Right, not just panning and crossfading. Massive, huge thing there. For dual mono inputs per channel, there's a pan center as well. There's a second bus for submixing and or operation. There's a stereo Q mix bus, which has its own TRS output jack. 3.5mm headphone jack with Q mix pot. Rear headers for pre and post fader pan outputs to a DB25, so you can actually send this off to something via DB25. It's got clip indicators with the LEDs. Level aux CV can sum and operate as VCAs. So that's really cool. Channel strips are field replaceable if a pot or fader fails.
They're a little card. Pretty cool.
It's expandable to 24 stereo channels. And I mean, imagine someone's Eurorack set up. I'm just thinking.
Yes. Yeah.
Anyway, CV control over pan, level, aux 1 and aux 2, which is very, very handy. Channel inserts, rear cables per channel allow for future insertable effects. And there's also some digital smarts in this as well, so that you can do firmware upgrades and things like that. I kind of feel like the design has improved in terms of getting the mess out of the way. So you guys know that if anyone's into Eurorack, one of the things that most people hate about Eurorack is the spaghetti mess. And if you've got all your modules coming into a mixer, especially if all the inputs are at the top of your channels strips, it's just going to be everywhere. So if you put it all sort of to the side, It's kind of these are the sort of modules that you plug stuff into and then you set and forget. That's kind of what these are for. These aren't really the sort of modules that you are always constantly plugging in, out, that sort of stuff.
It's not a patching module. It's a final sort of mix down module.
Yep. And then the stuff that you're touching regularly are the faders and the trim pots and stuff like that.
That's the performance part.
Yeah. So to me, they've listened to the design. Maybe I'll show you guys what the previous one looked like. So WMD.
I don't know. Did you mention the MIDI control?
I haven't. You can mention it though.
No, it has MIDI control. No, more information. It has the ability to. So all of the moves you make on the mixer get sent out as MIDI CC messages, and you can record them in your DAW, and then play it back over your original performance and tweak it, so you can sort of redo the performance after you've done it the first time. And it's also, this is the one that also has does have the DAC on board. It actually has the USB host in it. I can't remember. I just remember.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
But what I thought I'd do just quickly, Chris, is just to remind people, like just what I just mentioned about all the design and how they've listened to people, and how I mentioned before it was kind of like a spaghetti mess all over all your channels and stuff. This was the previous one. So do you see what I mean? Like it's all kind of sandwiched in.
Yeah.
You still had stuff off to the left and up to the top, and you still the channels were clear.
It's not as clear as the new one. So
yeah,
well done, guys.
So there's that. Now you were asking about the.
This is. It has
the smarts.
I think it has. Like it records each individual channel, doesn't it? I think you can actually stream each individual channel. So it records individual channels, plus alongside it you get the MIDI data for all the controls, so you can re-perform the same performance that you did live with tweaks. So you can fix up mistakes and stuff like that. If your mute was just a little bit late, you can push it forward. You know, we're getting into like SSL territory, SSL automation. The big discs that they used to use in the 80s that had the ability to record all of the VCA fader movements.
We should mention too that they've improved the circuitry of the mixer as well. So there's less noise, there's less
crosstalk.
There's a whole bunch of other things. Yeah. Anyway.
Chatties.
Yeah, if you want to get one of those, I think they're available in September. And they're taking pre-orders now. So usually with this WMD company, just if they sort of are similar to the way they used to operate, a lot of their stuff sells out pretty quick. And then you have to go on waiting lists. So if that's something that really interests you, you may want to get on their pre-order. Cool. All right. Don't forget too, you don't have to put a mixer in your eurorack chassis. You can just have a standard desktop. If you're not like needing all this stuff to look all neat in your chassis, you could just have a standard mixer. You could have a MkII sitting there somewhere next to it, you know. It doesn't have to be this. And it probably might be cheaper to do it that way too, to be fair.
I'm just waiting for the first person to start putting these guys in their own boxes. And they go, yeah, I got this brilliant idea. I put a mixer in its own box.
IntelliGel style.
Yeah.
Like the Metropolis.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah.
All right. Next, we have this. I mentioned that Pin Electronics do AKS EMS Synthy clones. But this is actually a new product that they've brought out called the Portello. And the Portello is like a cut down Synthy.
Yeah.
So it's got the little pin matrix and everything like that. But it's like a little cut down. It's a mono synth. You kind of get that. You get all some of the features of the EMS with the trapezoid generator and things like that. So what can I tell you? It has 2 oscillators instead of 3. So let's spell it out. What's different between this and what a synthy would have? 2 instead of 3, ranges from 1 to 10 kilohertz, offers you sync via the trapezoid or external source. For oscillator 1, you get variable, square, and pulse, shaping via pots, and available on the matrix, the pin matrix, that is. Oscillator 2 has variable sawtooth and triangle. So this is kind of very similar to those oscillators that I literally just showed you before, from feedback modules. Same as the VCS3 as well. You also get a filter, which is a low pass, and it either does 18 dB or 24 dB characteristics. The filter has 3 controls: cutoff, resonance, and level. And it has self-oscillation capabilities. And you can actually turn it into I don't know if it's keyboard controlled, but it does have a clean sine oscillator sort of feature on the filter. And there's also slew and unslewing on it. You get the case, which is kind of like a Pelican case, isn't it? Case.
Very much so.
It's obviously the pin matrix is there, and it's all fully functional. There's a trapezoid generator I mentioned before, an LFO, and all of this. Are you sitting down? This is where it probably hurts a little bit. 3,299 euros, available in July.
Wow,
man, those Pelican
I liked
cases
you
are
until you said the
expensive.
price. Yeah, I did like it until you said the price.
I would say these are kind of very boutique-y sort of businesses.
Yeah.
But apparently they have been doing really well, making the I forget what they call the synthy clone that they do, because these guys are actually punching them out, unlike EMS in the UK, who seem to just, I don't know what the story is with them, waiting lists as long as the M1 freeway. But yeah. By the way, the bigger brother of this is a lot more expensive. So if you were gawking at that price,
Don't look at the other one. Yeah.
Maybe wait for the Behringer one to come out.
Yeah, when? How many
Well,
years has it
the
been?
first Behringer one will be the VCS3.
Yeah, VCS3, yeah.
The second
I am
Behringer one
interested in that.
will be the little mini thing, the little mini version of it, little desktop mini version of it, which I think will sell like hotcakes because it will be just one oscillator. Then maybe they might do the suitcase synthy. Maybe, I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything about that, by the way, but I kind of feel like they might. But yeah, Chatties are saying the Syntrix is cheaper. Yes, is that Erica Synths one? The Syntrix 2? I think that's the Erica Synths one, isn't it? Syntrix 2. Erica Synths. Oh, look at that. I'm like a walking encyclopedia with my memory. Look at me go. There you go. That's the Syntrix 2. You're looking at 1,530 euros for that. I actually kind of like this better too.
Yeah, I prefer it.
And this has 3 oscillators, not 2. And it has a bigger pin matrix as well. Well, is it a pin matrix? It's not really.
It's an LED matrix.
It's a
digital pin matrix.
It's one of those matrices.
Etch a sketch.
Etch a sketch. That's it. Yeah.
You can play Snake on it in your spare time.
Okay. Anyway, for those who want to rush out and buy one of these because they love Pelican cases, go for it. Don't come crying to me if your bank account looks a bit shot afterwards. Anyway.
Yeah. If you divorce your wife, yeah.
Next. This thing. Daren, this is it. This is the thing that I felt you would kind of be interested in. Right?
Yes, go on, Ranz. Give it to us.
This is called the MEMO. It's by a company called Acid Rain Technology. It's a cable-free modular synthesizer.
Well,
Now,
Rave Day will be happy.
when you listen to this stuff,
I mean,
when you listen to this stuff,
it looks like you might be able to program presets as well.
Keep an open mind, okay? Because I feel like this is not the first product that's touched this realm, by the way. But I feel like we are on the verge of a revolution in modular synthesis where maybe the patch cable is going to be slowly become extinct.
Oh, wow.
And there's benefits.
Wow.
There's benefits for digitizing patch cables. Number one, you can store patch memory. Number two, you can see what the freaking hell you're doing. Number three, you can save a bit of money. I mean, like, I honestly thought the other day I might just go get a packet of Parmesan cheese and just sprinkle it over here because there was that much spaghetti going on.
So much spaghetti.
Yeah.
Need a good bolognese.
Anyway, let's talk about the MEMO because that's what we're here to talk about. Acid Rain Technology have done a pretty good job of this. This is basically a desktop synthesizer which you can control and map via matrix sort of methods. Now, this matrix method you guys have seen on other synths where you hold down a button and then you hold down another button and it joins that particular feature to that particular feature, and then you've got controls.
Yeah, it's a bit like VSTs, isn't it? Like you're doing on VSTs. Basically, that's what the idea is, isn't it?
Yep.
The
and the thing is, the cool thing about this is that you can store the patch memories in it, and you can also see what you're doing visually. Let's have a look at this little video from Perfect Circuit anyway. If I can get this thing up. Why the hell is that not full screen? Is this like a... Oh, this is like a... let's just have a look at this anyway. So he doesn't really talk about this, but see how he pressed that button just then? It all unlit, and then it lit up again. He's just assigned something there. And then he's just moved the knob. And now he's assigning that. He's assigning it, see? There you go. And then he unsets it, so then it goes back to the default. And that's the patch memory that he just hit down the bottom. I wish there was better videos on it than this, but this is, I feel this is very, very sort of prototype level, because I think they even said that on the Superbooth walkthrough videos that you would have seen. If you watched every single Superbooth video, you would have caught this one.
I missed that one.
Yeah.
Not watched a lot of them.
Acid Rain, by the way, have got expertise in this area. I probably should show you guys. They make some very interesting Eurorack modules.
Yeah, Rainmaker.
Yeah, you guys would have seen the Rainmaker.
Yeah, the sequencer, matrix things. Yeah.
Let's have a quick look at their website. These you guys would have seen on my show a few years ago. These Constellation, Maestro. These are kind of like patch memory type.
I got the little one, the Navigator. That doesn't have anything fancy in it at all.
Yeah. So these guys, they've got this technology already, so that you can see the next sort of step would be to do something like this. But the next step would be to do something like that on a Eurorack module using the available cable that sits behind every Eurorack module. How many? There's 6 wires, 10 wires, whatever there is in these things, right?
10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not every one of those is voltage.
I have to correct you there, Rance. What's happening is that the 2 wires are being used as a combined current capability. So if you took away one of those wires, not all of your modules would continue to work. The cables would begin to heat up and melt, depending on but a lot of modules you could get away with it. But yeah,
that ribbon cable there, I've got 2 modules made by MkII, which literally talk to each other through that cable, and they do it we've talked
Oh,
about
really?
this on the show before. There is a capability already in the bus boards for Eurorack to talk digitally between modules.
On 16-way connectors, though.
Yeah, I'm
10
pretty
way.
sure.
Yeah,
Maybe
16 way,
16.
not 10.
Maybe
Yeah,
16.
It's only on the 16s that you
I
have
haven't-
the spare pins.
I haven't got it turned off, so I couldn't show you, but I could probably unplug it and show you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But check. I mean, look, Variegate's not the only one that does it. There's plenty that do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point is that if there's a digital technology out there like MIDI, right, but for Eurorack, and there's people, by the way, that have done this already. There's manufacturers who have got their own systems already out there, which are virtual patching, and they're using the busboard connections, or they're using its own, like, a separate MIDI, TRS cable between modules that communicates digitally, right? So this is not the only thing. Anyway, so MEMO is kind of leading down that path. I thought Daren would be interested in it because I kind of feel like this would probably be 2025 before it's out, Daren. But I kind of feel like this particular company will be a leader in it.
Like you say, it is interesting, and like it just lends itself to, like you say, normal patch cables. It's just going to be. I'm just going to have people pulling them out and asking me to redo it.
Yeah. Yep.
And there's lights on it.
Yeah.
Steve is saying it's a dope for spec.
I concur. That's where it is. Originally, it was just CV and gate was what they labelled those extra connectors, extra pins. But since then, it's been very much used for other types of high speed, such as I2C, for example.
Yeah, and the thing with it is that they're saying it's an analog thing, but it doesn't necessarily have to be analog that's passed down that wire.
No.
So, anyway, one of the other ideas, like I said, was to use a TRS cable between modules, and that you could send information digitally across that, and you would only need one cable linking modules together then, as opposed to hundreds.
The key is in the data rates, isn't it? Because you want very, very high speed audio rate type modulation capabilities. You really want a high throughput, data throughput bus. And that's where going through ribbon cables and through a bus board that someone else manufactured starts to become a bit more tenuous, a bit difficult.
I kind of feel like you encroach on the MIDI resolution issue.
Yeah, exactly.
That one of the reasons that attracts people to Eurorack is control voltage.
Yep.
And its immediacy. I mean, obviously there's resistance across lengths of wires and all that stuff, but generally speaking, in a standard sort of skiff, you don't usually have too many issues. So I feel like the moment it becomes digital is when you've got the resolution issues. But these days, with processors being as fast as they are, maybe we're not into that problem anymore. So that could be why it's starting to rear its head again.
Yeah, I agree.
We're getting there.
I think we're getting there. Yeah, definitely getting there.
So you wouldn't be able to, like, what I'm trying to say is you wouldn't use MIDI 1, okay?
No. I wasn't suggesting that. I'm just saying that when you do start using high-speed communications, the sort of like, it's a bit like in IT, we couldn't continue using coax or the same particular spec of twisted wire cable when we went to higher speeds. When we went up to 1 gigabits per second, we had to get new cables, didn't we? Because they had to be manufactured differently to.
Yep, it went from
Cat
5 to Cat 5e to Cat 6 to Cat 7.
So, you just need to upgrade your bus, so to speak.
But
just easy enough to do.
Just think about if you could imagine Eurorack in a realm, remembering too that I still believe Eurorack is the guinea pig of synthesizer development, right? So if that's now becoming a realm where you don't have the spaghetti mess getting in your way, all the people that have OCD issues will probably start being attracted to it again, right? Then you've got a lot of that cutting edge technology being developed for Eurorack that will eventually make its way to desktop and keyboard bed type synths. And usually it doesn't take that long. Usually I'm seeing sort of some stuff going from Eurorack within a 10-year, 5-year period. I always use this as the same example because it's obvious to everyone. Like the Microfreak from Arturia used mutable instruments. So that's just an example.
Yeah.
As long as they make it easy to track, I was just thinking, as long as they make it easy to track, so they'd have to be RGB. Otherwise, you could have it like with your Euro cables. You can have stackables, can't you? And you can follow a cable, see where it goes. Whereas that, if you've got lots of coloured lights, you start to lose track. So as long as they make it easy in that way.
Well, I think that's the challenge, Daren. I think you've hit the nail on the head. The challenge is to visually make that user friendly.
Be able to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This particular thing from MEMO does have that visual feedback. You saw it was a bad video, I know, but you saw him hitting buttons. The whole panel kind of went dark, so you knew he was in a function mode. It was kind of very, very succinct visual feedback, and then he would wiggle a knob, let it go. Then that knob became connected to that feature. So it might have been an LFO controlling an oscillator, or something like that. So what you're seeing, I guess, here is kind of like it's a standalone thing, right, that you're looking at here. But there's a whole bunch of modules in here. There's oscillators, there's filters, there's LFOs, envelope generators, VCAs, things like that. And you're linking things via.
It's almost like Reason. You remember Reason, the way you have the back of the rack exposed and it shows you all your patch cables, and you flip it back again. It's almost like whenever he presses a button on this acid rain thing, it flips the panel around, shows you what's connected back again.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it?
I'm just waiting for the first time someone says, all right, we're going to do augmented reality. Put on your goggles or your glasses, and the patch cables will show up virtually, and if you want them to go away, you just go away. And they will disappear.
So
back.
I think Magoo in chat, he was kind of saying this particular module isn't the actual solution to spaghetti for a Eurorack. He's right. This is not the answer for. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this is the actual product that will do it. What I'm saying is that this is a product that shows that they've probably got the technology now to do it. And I said at the start, this is probably going to be a stepping stone into the future of
proving ground, as it were.
It's going down that route. So
yeah, absolutely. Right. Next is the TwistFM by Twisted Electrons, and for those who don't know what Twisted Electrons do, they do kind of a lot of FME sort of stuff with the Sega chip and stuff like that. But this particular one uses the Sound Blaster chip, which was around.
I think I still got a Sound Blaster 16
90s
card.
Yeah,
floating around somewhere in my pile.
Now this video is from Bonito Synthesizers, so I haven't actually asked for permission with it, but we'll do a really, really quick play just so you get a little listen to it anyway. Don't forget this is FM, so expect it to sound a little FM-y, but I'll tell you why it doesn't sound DX7-y in a sec. Nice little ribbon controller there, and then we've got so it does kind of have that FM. So I'm being really quick because I'll get a copyright strike otherwise, guys.
Yeah.
It looks. Don't you reckon it looks a little bit like one of those old Roland PG controllers?
Bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Also reminds me a bit of the Soundforce guys, the way they
Soundforce guys, yeah.
the controllers they do, but not quite as nice as those.
If you guys want to listen to that entirely, go check out the Benito synthesizers video on YouTube. He does, just search for Twisted FM, you'll find it. It's one of the first videos that pops up. Definitely worth listening to. I just wanted to give you just a very small taste of it. It does sound FM. It expects to sound FM because it is an FM synth. Daren, it's got filters on this thing.
Oh.
It's got algorithms too. You can see the algorithms up top. Little algorithm design up top.
Yeah, I was just about to ask that.
There's a 128-step sequencer on it as well. There's an arpeggiator. There's chord mode, which you heard. There's 3 multi-wave LFOs, a dedicated envelope per operator, which is kind of needed when you're in FM.
Anyway.
And there was a little screen that you saw with the LED on it. But because it's based on the... Which one was it? It's based on the Sound Blaster. It doesn't actually say which Sound Blaster. It just says Sound Blaster chips. Oh, yes, it does. The YMF262/OPL3, and I do believe that is the most popular one.
Right.
If you're looking for the FM synthesizer Sound Blaster ones, right? When we used to get games we're talking IBM PC clone games, right? We used to get the games, and then we used to have the Sound Blaster thing, and the moment that you played the game music through the Sound Blaster card, all of a sudden the music sounded amazing compared to if you played it through the whatever else you had. This was kind of the the days of older computers. But it is an 8-voice polyphonic FM. And basically just getting the features out of the 6-operator FM synthesizer that's built into that chip. Yeah. Now, Wagoo was the one that suggested that we showed this a couple of weeks ago. So, Wagoo, let's see if he's talking about it. Why do you like it, Wagoo? Why don't you jump onto Zoom, mate? Zoom. I've been trying to get him onto Zoom.
Yeah, tell us what you think, man.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think, buddy.
Tell him he's dreaming.
I can't really see what he's saying there because it's cutting it off. We'll go here. He just likes the fact that it's got lots of faders. Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, that kind of looked cool to me too. It kind of looked like the like I said, the Roland PG programmers of the day. I thought it was 6-operator FM, but I could be wrong. I'm reading an article from SynthAddict. Big shout out to Tom, and it says in there it's a 6-operator FM. Apparently you can't... Oh, okay, I see what it's saying. Because of the way it layers 4 operators with 5... Okay, yeah, you're right. It is a 6-operator FM, but you can only use the first layer of the 4 operators with their 5 algorithms, and then you use the other 2 operators with the other 2 algorithms. I get you. Yep. So one would kind of be like a carrier modulator type thing. Got it. Yep. Okay.
So it's kind of 2.2. No, 4.2.
4.2. But it is.
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
It is a 6-operator FM synth, but 4 operators usable with 2 operators. And actually, if you go back to that graphic, it actually shows you, I guess. Yeah, you can see that it shows you with the little algorithms up the top.
So the 2 algorithms on the extreme right of that section of the algorithms, that's your 2-operator configurations, and the ones to the left are all the 4-operator configs.
This will be under €1,000 when it comes out. So whether it's 999 euros, or, I don't know. But it's coming out in summer, Northern Hemisphere summer. or late summer. So I kind of feel like a lot of people will get on top of this. I really do. It's that FM chip, or that FM synth, I should say, was really popular in its day, and it's surprising how we haven't seen a lot of synths being developed on it.
Yeah, I confess I didn't know every single YM chip number to know which one sounded like one. I just knew if it's a Yamaha chip, it starts with YM.
Yep. Gotcha. Anyway, so that was that, and I think, is that the last one? Yep. The last one in terms of synths, but we do have one more nitty-gritty topic that we want to chew into, like a piece of gristle in your steak. Absolutely. These guys know what I'm about to say. All right, here we go. Let's look at this one, shall we? Because I feel like, look, we're a synth show, but the ultimate role of a synthesizer player is eventually we make music, and eventually we put our music out there, and most of us have probably put our music up on Spotify. And you have this goon who says crap like this, and basically I don't like it when he's basically living off of what we create and he's pissing in our face. Sorry, but that's the truth. He's literally pissing in our face. The cost of creating content is close to zero. You know, it's like the Dark Ages when you had, slave labor.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it comes across to me like.
Yeah.
Anyway,
there's so many visual metaphors.
Let's go across to here, and we'll bring everyone involved into it, including the chatties. I thought it's a good opportunity. I know there's going to be people that will say, I don't use Spotify, so it doesn't worry me.
I don't use Spotify.
I do.
But it's still a bit of a piss thing.
Yeah.
But I think somebody said, I saw something on this week, and they said that, I don't make, he was an artist, quite a famous artist, actually. I can't remember her name. And she said that she doesn't make content, she makes music. So calling it content, for a start, is an insult.
Yeah.
And I would tend to agree with that. I don't make, yes, I make video content, but that's not, when making music, I make music. I wouldn't call it content. People like him clearly call it content because he's ripping off artists left, right, and centre, allegedly.
Well, I don't even think it's allegedly. I think he is, Ian.
I know. I'm just.
I think he is
avoiding. I think, and he's not alone. These deals that were done with the major record labels that affect everybody through distribution systems and companies. We didn't have a choice in those deals at all. So when we put our stuff up there, we don't have a choice in terms of what revenue we get. And it's been said 100 million times. We can't live on the money you earn from streaming services. And it's wrong, really. And while we're on it, can I drop in my little rant, because it's actually it's relevant not to Spotify.
Go on.
It's not relevant to Spotify, but it's relevant to sort of these companies. I prepared a video which was meant to go out last week but didn't, and it still hasn't gone out. It probably go out next week, because I had a content claim. This is through YouTube from my distributor. My distributor is The Orchard, which is linked to Sony Music. So I contested because it's my piece of music. I didn't use anybody else's music on the video. It's all mine. I created it predominantly on an iPad with royalty-free samples, and I added some other bits and pieces. I did it for a few years ago. I did some stories, short stories, and I did the sound design, and I did the music. So it was one of the pieces of music from one of those stories that I used. I thought it'll go quite nice behind this video, right? So I contested the claim, did all the usual things with YouTube, And yesterday I got a message from YouTube basically saying that my claim was invalid, and that if I didn't either take the video down or remove my music, I was going to get a copyright strike. And there's nothing else I can't appeal again. So just and where do they get off doing this? It's my piece of music. I created it. I know exactly when I created it because and just we don't seem to have the we don't have the tools to be able to contest this sort of stuff that goes on, And clearly, the Orchard, along with other companies, are making a money grab from a very, very small artist, Anyway, rant over. That's it. I'm done with the rant. But you can see how it's connected to this sort of thing with, Spotify,
content delivery,
and Apple Music. Yeah, all of these people are tied in with the same, and Universal, Sony Music. They're all they are a cabal, and we don't get our just rewards for the music that we create. And we don't seem to be able to have a leg to stand when it really comes to it.
As the CEO said, they all see it as just content. And
content, exactly.
money, content,
it's a product.
and
yes, I know music's always been a product. You buy it. A record's a product. But from an artistic point of view, that's not how we should necessarily see it. But they don't, because they're just seeing.
They don't see it.
Yeah,
they see power signs and content. Let's have more. Let's have more.
I'll just say one thing, which is it. In some ways, there's one good thing that's come out of this, and that we know exactly who this person is and how they think. So that it's no longer. It's out in the open now. Look, okay, no, you can't deny it. People said, "Oh, you're being paranoid." Well, that's over. It's absolutely clear, crystal clear, that this is the way they think, this is their attitude going forward, and their decisions are quite predictable based upon that being their attitude. So, at least we now all know where we stand,
I'm sure somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't I right in thinking that Spotify haven't made any money, technically?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody in the chat room might know. I haven't researched this, but I had a feeling that I'd seen somewhere something about Spotify not actually making any profit. Now, that's if that's true, that's the Amazon approach to business.
Well, their stock price is $308 right now.
Right.
The actual company itself may not have made any money, but its investors, if you've bought the stock at $1 and you sold it today at $308, you've made money. So
exactly.
People are making money off of Spotify.
And certainly, it comes across as, because the Amazon model is that it's to reduce tax. So they either reinvest it, or they pay their shareholders, or they don't pay their shareholders, but the share price is.
According to BBC, we're talking April this year.
Yeah.
They announced a record profit of €1 billion or £860 million. The year after they've said that they've cut loss and laying off staff, so they have made a profit now.
Yeah.
They cut 17% of its workforce to clamp down on costs. This Daniel Ek guy, this tosser, he got rid of about 1,500 jobs, right? And as a result, all of his shareholders, earning now $308 per share, have made $1 billion profit from this company because we've given him content.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
So look, the way to sort of battle this, obviously, the easiest way is just take your music off Spotify, and you no longer are feeding the horrible man and all of his shareholders. But it doesn't. I mean, Apple. There's. I'm not saying Apple are saying the same thing, but there's so many other streaming providers that have a very similar sort of business model. Apple aren't quite as bad.
The Apple rate is slightly better, I think, than Spotify. Well, it's a while since I actually properly looked, and I don't know about Deezer and some of the other.
Well, the other one is YouTube or Google, I guess you'd call it, because Google now basically they push all their music through YouTube as a platform. Now they don't have Google Music as a separate thing, so you may feel more ethical about the way they handle artists and that sort of thing. I guess what you've got to do is you've got to kind of navigate your way around who. I mean, if you're using a distribution provider like Orchard, right? You've got a choice of checking boxes and unchecking boxes of who you want your music to stream through. So you can just uncheck the Spotify box, and you can just say, right, Mr. Eck, you're a whatever, and then we're not going to put our music through you. And a lot of people are doing it right now. There's like a massive class of people going through and just going, bye-bye Spotify. And it literally is just a checkbox, and within 24 hours, your music's gone from Spotify, and he can't do anything about it.
I don't have a Spotify premium account. I never have had, but I have got a Spotify account, but I very rare. I mean, I only go to my Spotify account and I can't find whatever that piece of music is on either Bandcamp or on Apple Music. So I've had Apple Music for a long time now. And I'm not saying that they're necessarily that much better, but like I said, the royalty rate is slightly better. I mean, a part of the reason for me as a record label using Orchard is that me and my artists, including you, Rance, we should get better rates, but we're not seeing it.
Hell yeah.
We're not seeing it at all, really.
Well, the other option is Bandcamp, I guess. So... look, let's look at what the chatties are going to say. I'm going to suggest something else. If people don't want to put their music up on Spotify, and they actually literally are new to this, and they think they're sort of unsure of where they can actually publish their music, dare I say it, the best place for you to publish your music is probably on your own website that you own, not on some shared like Squarespace thing someone else owns. I'm talking about literally your own website that you own, that you're paying hosting for, that the data isn't being manipulated by some AI or some other conglomerate. You own the physical hard drive sectors. No one else can touch it. That part is probably the safest place to do it, and maybe you could make it so that you could actually earn some money. However, the other place that you probably would still, I feel like we're still pretty safe with these guys, and that's Bandcamp. And it's a good segue because Bandcamp, I want to show one of our regulars.
Yay.
Babs has released a new album, and I think she was just talking about it in chat actually. It's called Someday, and here it is on Bandcamp, and you guys can go check it out. I'll actually paste the link now in the chat, so you guys can literally go check it out. If I can get my mouse to work. There it is there. Go check it out, and send her some love.
Daniela has just said Bandcamp and eBay and own website, just like you said, Rance. Now, eBay is an interesting choice because I've actually, I'll be honest with you, I've started putting some physical media, like some CDs that I've got of my stuff up on Bandcamp. They aren't selling, I'll be honest with you. So, but Bandcamp is an option if you've got a Bandcamp account. I quite like the idea of putting, certainly physical media up there. I don't know how you do with streaming, or MP3s or WAVs.
Problem with eBay is that the fees are a bit naffy.
It's
at the end of the day, it's 20%.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if
Yeah,
when you take
it's-
everything into it, it's round about 20%.
It's
you know.
a similar model at Etsy.
Yeah.
I've heard that it's
They have added.
Shopify is quite cheap.
Yeah.
You could look at Shopify. So you could, if you were looking at like physical products of your music, like CDs, tapes, vinyl, T-shirts, Daren's hat. That's the only hat to get, by the way, the DTH hat.
It is the only hat.
Which is not available.
It's very rare.
Shopify.
You're missing a trick there, Darren.
But my remixes are though, Rans. Don't forget, my remixes are available. And even if it's only you want to listen to the rave, as Chris
Which
did.
is he's worth listening to.
Let's bring Daren's up.
Yeah.
You should have seen. You should have seen the mess I left though, because he did tell me to get out of the studio.
Yeah.
In not such a polite way.
And
Is this on Bandcamp, Daren? Oh yeah, the remixes. Here it is.
Yeah.
Yep. Here
he's a bit of a show off though, that rave Dave. I mean, how many different styles can you fit in one song? What a show off.
Well, he did say where to put everything in.
Yeah.
Including orchestral, which there is hints of it in there.
Singular talent.
There you go, and I'll link that as well in the chat, as well if I can. Can I do that? I can do it if I paste it into here. Running across two computers here.
It's called multitasking. Well done, man.
Yeah.
What you want to know is, when he slaps me, how hard was it?
Yeah. I was wondering how you did. Was it
like How I Met Your Mother? Do you remember that TV series where they had the slap, and it was like they just dragged this thing that this guy was going to slap the other guy. I won't talk.
I remember this.
And
up here?
Eventually he slapped him. In the end, eventually he did. Was it as good as that, Daren?
Let me say this, Chris.
Ah, yes.
That just doesn't sound. That doesn't sound right.
It's not.
Hence,
right,
it's
no.
not that.
I'm thinking a sack of potatoes.
It still doesn't work.
No. Daren pulled his duds down.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Yeah.
Buttocks exposed. Darren Moons for the sake of his music, for his art.
Went
Bears his
outside,
ass for
did a
his art.
streaker run to get it all nice and wet, and then came back inside.
Oh no!
It's not.
No, this is not turn. This is turning in that direction.
With the mic full on.
Ah, yes.
Yeah,
of course.
that's it.
Yes.
And my stairs are not that creaky neither.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be a little bit sort of controversial here. If I take my music off of Spotify or off of, it's not like I'm getting millions of people listening to me. It's not like I'm huge or anything. But I kind of feel like I have to work harder to get people to find my music.
Yes.
So
exactly. Yeah, you're right.
And this guy knows this, right? So in my case, I feel like if I want to punish this Spotify guy, I'd probably be okay to do it as long as there's a platform still with pretty much a similar amount of reach, and that's Apple Music. So or YouTube, I guess. So in my case, I feel like we're safe if he disappears. But if he was the only one, and you all had to kind of be there, a lot of artists would be reluctant to take their music off because of that
He's
factor.
probably banking on that anyway, as a majority of people might just think, "Oh, I'm not going to get out otherwise." They don't feel as though, and obviously to him, it's not going to matter, is it? You leave, you lose.
Well, that's it.
Does anybody use
you stay out.
SoundCloud?
Everyone leaves, he loses.
Yeah.
That's
Anybody use
exactly.
SoundCloud?
Because
I used to have a SoundCloud premium account. Yeah, I did for a while. For a few years, I had a premium account.
I've dropped SoundCloud. I haven't turned it off completely, but I pulled all my stuff off of SoundCloud.
I occasionally put rough demos up there if I want to share them with people. Just but they're always demos. They're never finished songs. Really, but I just wondered whether, because they're doing some sort of. I mean, I haven't looked into it, but they're doing some sort of similar sort of thing where you can distribute your music through SoundCloud now, can't you?
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, if you really are like a better known artist, let's say, not someone like me, I'm a nobody, but like someone who actually does perform a fair bit, and you've got a following, you've got people literally who are fans. I'm not talking about your mum. Like real fans, you've got a fan following. I think the most sensible thing that they already know this too, but the most sensible thing you're going to do to make money is to tour, to play live, to sell merch. And that hasn't changed in 40, 50, 60 years. That actual part of the music industry is still pretty rock solid. That won't change. I mean, obviously there's differing profit margins and, we won't go into that. But the actual phenomena of selling something physical hasn't really changed. So if you can get yourself into that part of, if you're so Daren, say, you start doing these EMOMs and then all of a sudden thousands of people are lining up to watch you play your next set. You will start getting a following. Eventually you'll probably start selling your DT8 hats, and you know what I mean? Like it will start becoming a machine. You won't worry
the DT8
about...
hat is basically so I realise who I am, never mind anyone else.
When you wake up in the morning. Yes. I'm just using him as an example, but he won't worry about Spotify streams.
No.
Because it's irrelevant. Like he's not.
I mean,
a lot, even some of the big artists like that are making their money from touring.
I mean, Taylor Swift has just arrived in the UK for her part of her Eros tour, which was in Edinburgh, I think, last night, and it was on the news. Now, she clearly is, if not the biggest artist in the world at the moment, but she's pretty close, And the fact
she would be,
and she's been touring that. And we know it's a 3.5 hour show. I can now see it I can actually watch it because I've now got Disney Plus, so I will watch it. Because I'll be honest, I'm a Swiftie, probably the oldest Swiftie on the planet. But
my daughter's,
I think she's talented. I think she writes good songs. Not all. I don't like everything, but enough. She's probably not bothered about the streaming side, and clearly she's had issues with people owning her recordings in the past, and that's why she's been redoing that sort of thing. And I think at one point she did take her music off Spotify, if I'm not mistaken. I know it's probably back on there now, but she's making her money. Yeah, she's making her money by touring and people buying. I mean, I don't know what the sales of physical, albums and CDs are these days, but certainly merch in terms of, sweaters, hats, T-shirts, all of that sort, scarves, whatever it is. That's where the money probably is.
That concert that she did as a movie, that was genius.
Yeah, I mean, and when she tried to tout that around the distribution companies, nobody wanted it, so she distributed it herself because she's got the money to be able to do that. Good on her, that's it's almost like the Beatles and the Decca thing.
Isn't her old man some venture capitalist or something? He's like,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
She was born into money already, but I remember there was something interesting that came up about her during the week where I forget if it was a video or just a photo of her with Britney Spears when she was a little girl, and Britney Spears turned to her and said, "Oh, you're pretty good on the guitar, girl. If you keep trying it, maybe one day you'll become famous."
Yeah,
and it's a true story. It actually happened.
Yeah.
And right now Britney Spears is nowhere near as famous as Taylor Swift, right?
No. Oh no.
They've kind of one's a has been and one's a today.
You could probably say that Taylor Swift has. I mean, they've probably both worked really hard. And we know what happened to Britney Spears. With not being in control of her own life. But I mean, certainly, Taylor Swift clearly works really hard at what she does. There are lots of, very almost rabid supportive fans out there because they were on the news. They were out at sort of 14 hours before the concert.
I kind of feel like
sleeping in the street.
I kind of felt like when I heard that thing in about the thing that her playing guitar and blah 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 blah. One of the things is that there's a massive contrast between the two artists. I felt Spears was more of a sex marketing artist. She was, she had some good songs. There was obviously some good writers behind her, but
Baby Hit Me One More Time. It's definitely all about sex. Yeah.
The big sale, the big engine of sale behind her was that she had that schoolgirl charm. It was sex that basically. Yeah. But Taylor Swift doesn't have that. She's not a sex object per se. She's actually she's selling her music based on there's like a corner of the world of teenagers that are buying into the storytelling that she does through her lyrics. And then there's a corner of the world that are besotted by her musical talent. And it's not just her, by the way. She's got teams of people that help her write. But
oh god, yeah,
there are some pretty decent. There's some pretty decent music behind her. I'm not going to say it's my sort of music because in some respects I can't stand some of her music, but some of her tracks are good and I enjoy them.
I mean, Waggles just asked me what's the best song. I don't know what the best song is. I can tell you what I think the best album is, and that's probably Red. But there are some of the stuffs that I don't like as much. I didn't like the last couple of. The new album's pretty good. I haven't really got into it. I wasn't so gone on the folk album that she did, So swings and roundabouts. Some of it I like more than others. Some of it I don't listen to at all.
I think Reputation.
Fearless was a good album. The Red's the one I keep playing more than anything else, and I sort of have it on random, and then just
Well, if you listen to,
I don't skip many tracks.
We're not telling you guys to do this, but by the way, a lot of her music has a lot of synthesizer content. In fact, her latest album has quite a sequency arpeggiator sort of track in there, which I thought, ooh, I recognise that Roland synth.
Yes.
But if you listen to any of her albums, and if you can be bothered to sit there and listen from track to track to track to track, which is what you're supposed to do to an artist, you will notice that her tracks are very different. They're not. They don't sound all the same. There's sometimes there's different genres in her tracks. Sometimes there's different types of. Some are fast, some are mean, some are dark, some are bright. So she really, really changes it up. So. If you're looking at why is she so successful, it's because she's not just regurgitating the same stuff over and over and over again like some artists are doing. She's actually changing it up. And you might hate it.
I'm quite pleased
you might love it.
Yeah. Although like I say, I didn't like the folk album particularly, and I like folk music, but I'm quite pleased that she does that. That not every album is going to be the same. That she's always striving to do something slightly different. And like I say, I might not always like it, but that's good on her for doing that. I mean, you could argue that that's exactly what David Bowie did over his career. Not every album was the same. Some you like more than others.
You know what we should do?
And go on then.
We should get the knife out.
Oh.
Who wants me to get the knife out and chop something up?
What's
he talking about?
He's talking about modules, packages.
I've got parcels to open.
Yeah,
who wants me to open?
Oh yes, open your parcels.
Yeah, I thought we were on about the music here. I thought, blimey, he's really going for it.
Let's open the parcels. They literally haven't been opened.
What's in the parcel, Mr. Rant? What's in the parcel?
I don't know. I actually do.
Mr. Summers?
Because I ordered it.
Mr. Summers?
Am I going to cut myself on there? Here we go. Okay, so Daren, this is one of your favourite companies. Ooh. They like to do bar stools.
Hey, Parma Violets. Oh,
Could be.
Pump of violets. Jeez. If only they came intravenously. Hey, Daren.
Ooh.
That's the company there.
Is it a pizza? It's not a pizza.
Who's heard of these guys? This knife is not sharp at all. I don't even think it's, I don't even think I'll be able to cut myself with it.
Yeah. It's always the one you pick up too.
Normally I do like a mailbag video and for the channel. But I just thought, nah, let's do it on the show. Because, you know, the real people are watched the show.
We've all done it.
Oh, it's a bag of goodies, people.
Oh my God. Rance has got a
it's a
kit.
construction.
That means soldering, doesn't it?
Oh, yes.
There you go. It's the Quattro Figaro.
I think Rance has got. I think Rance has got wood.
Figaro.
Wooden panel.
Okay,
It's a wooden panel. It's a wooden panel. That's what I meant. Come on.
It's a wooden panel.
Mind out of the gutter.
Guys, what is this? This is a quad VCA, and you can never have enough VCAs.
Yes.
What is this?
Card, is it, or a sticker?
Little post.
No, it's a card. It's actually a card.
especially.
And it's got handwriting on it too, and it's been signed. 37 of 60. So it's
Right,
Serial
special.
number. Yeah, that makes
it
sense.
smells.
Because you got to write that on the module somewhere when you finish it.
Yeah.
here we go.
I wish I'd thought of that.
Why didn't I just cut a bit off one of them and a bit off the other?
Oh,
A little personal message in there.
nice.
That's cool. That's nice.
Yes, I'm paying attention here.
Shortened them. I think the two.
I can hear Fiona in the background.
Yeah.
Anyway, so if anyone are wondering about this I do have to put this thing together. This is a whole bunch of electronics in here.
How's he gonna cope?
This is easy. This one's easy. Like it's all
All
three
through hole,
holes.
baby. Lovely.
All 3 hole. Let's have a look at the PCB.
I didn't think
Ooh.
about it after.
We
Is
got
that a build manual? Is that a build manual?
If they're no good, I've seen some nice blackout star ones, you know, like these grey ones
a whole bunch of stuff.
with stars on. No, they don't gold, but they're pink with stars on. And you can buy the duvet cover to match for. The curtains are £9. The duvets.
We're having conversations in the background, by the way.
Hilarious.
There's the PCBs. So there's a fair bit of work.
Oh,
You
they're
can see
white.
there's a fair bit of work there.
2 panels. It's not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad. And yes, that is wood.
Also,
Because I can buy them together.
No, it's wood.
plywood.
The 25
Solid
I
wood.
paid 12 quid for that.
Ooh.
Wood. Do you want to set it on fire?
Yeah, it's called customizing your panel with a cigarette lighter.
Chuck it all back in your box. All right, so obviously I've got to build that. Let's hope it doesn't sit in my drawer for 6 months like the other.
I will
Things do.
check in regularly every month to see whether you've made it, Rant.
Okay, Chris, you should know what this is. This other box.
Like this. and what-
Oh yes,
we-
CN22.
I think we should mute this conversation going on.
Oh, it's all stuff. So, you know.
You'll see. Well, it might work, and it doesn't. It doesn't. Just stuff there.
Oh, is that Daren?
That sounds like Darren.
Yeah, it's Daren. All right, here we go. I'll just mute Daren for a sec. How do you get into this? This is really, really well.
Yes, it's the brown sticky paper trick. Yeah, I had one of those come in like that the other day. I couldn't work out where to start either.
I don't think that's.
I eventually did work it out.
Yeah. Can you help?
I was, it's called being patient and not doing it on a live stream.
Oh no, this is just an outside box. All right, cool.
Oh, okay.
I might just take it out here and rip it.
ASMR. Hey!
Hey.
Hello.
All right.
That looks familiar.
This is another DIY. DIY. EIEIO.
As long as it's not a DUI.
I know how to speak. There's bits and pieces going to flop around everywhere here, so let's just be careful. Let's be careful. Let's be careful. If anyone is wondering what this is the oscillator expander for the look, all the electrons are going to fall out. It's upside down. There we go. This is the 1004P. It makes the Behringer 1004 oscillator. It's a 2500 oscillator expander. I do have to do a little bit of electrical work.
I happen to have the pictures of mine lined up if you want to have a look at them, Rants.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that.
Well, I got a bit of fluff from overseas. Don't know what that is. Anyway, so if anyone saw the last show that we showed, this is it. I've already got it. In fact, we actually got these within about a week, didn't we, Chris? Of ordering
Pretty much, yeah. Very
pretty
quickly.
quick. So this is the little daughter board that you have to actually wire this up onto the Behringer module. And there's standoffs in here. And then there's a cable that connects this to this, right? That has its own connection. And then obviously, because this is a standard module as well, you still have to power it in your eurorack. But what that does is that maps out all the different waveforms separately, and you've got an attenuator for each. Plus, you've also got the mix as well, and you've also got a master. It's pretty cool. Anyway, let's go to Chris. Chris has got some pictures lined up of his already in action. Hey, that's Chris.
No, that way. Oh God, the camera's wrong around. Yeah, so that's what mine looked like. It's after it's finished installed, and what I did, this is what it looks like on the back. So after you've soldered everything into the Behringer modules, that's the back of the Behringer module on the right, and the extra module that they give you is on the left. And there's just a simple ribbon cable between the daughter board and the main board. Plus you have to power it as well, but I'll come back to that in a moment. Because to do you actually remove the screws, two of the screws from the Behringer model, and that now allows you to screw in their little standoffs. Which I don't actually have any pictures of the standoffs, but you saw them on. Well, there's some in the bag, yeah. Exactly, yeah, there's some in the bag. And I did something a bit fancy because I rather than use hookup wire to sort of hook up between the switches and then into the PCB, I actually used straight pins. Yeah, I used straight pins because they lined up, and I thought that'll be better. That's just my personal opinion. But,
I reckon it is.
Yeah, I reckon it's going to be easier to. I think it was probably easier to solder. Then it might get a bit tricky. I could see problems trying to get the wires to line up when you got flexible wires, and then you lose one, and then you solder, and then you have to desolder them again because something went awry or something. I just thought this way it's going to be simpler. Before you even do the final soldering, you know everything's in position and aligned. So yeah, what did I do? Yep, so I used some helping alligator clip hands there. You got any helping hands, Rance? Otherwise you'll have to. Yes.
Yeah, I've got 3 kids.
3 kids you can hold it to. What's their tolerance to heat and pain?
Oh, they can scream as much as they like. I've just wear earplugs.
Oh, you're an evil man.
No, yeah, I've got little alligator clip hands.
Yeah. So that's the soldering on the switches. You can see just the little black marks I put where the switches that need to be soldered onto are, because as you can appreciate looking at the back of it, it would be easy to lose track, given that they all look the same.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So yeah, getting that's kind of important. But you'll know if you get it the wrong way, you'll put the board on, you'll go, oh shit, it doesn't line up. But yeah, let's not make that mistake.
I'll probably just use wire.
Yeah,
And I've got 5 or 6 different colors, so it'll.
Yeah. And so I just snipped them off, and then I poked them all through the holes, and they just all line up perfectly like that. So, yep, that's what I did. And the other fancy thing I did is, I made a double-headed power cable. Now, how would I have made a double-headed power cable, Rants? Perhaps that was because I was using the cable monster.
I can show you. Don't you give it away. I can show you, mate. It's a mate of mine that did this video. He's actually really cool. You don't know him, Chris. He does all these makeshift type videos. Do you know what I mean? Now
that sounds really familiar.
Yeah. Why don't we head over here?
Mm-hmm. A double-headed power cable allows you to power 2 modules from a single power outlet. To make one, you'll need one 16-way crimp connector and 2 10-way connectors.
And guess what? If you want to find out the rest, you have to go watch that video.
Yay!
Which I'm about to link in the channel.
The video is here. The video is not here. The product that you might be interested in buying is there, but Rance is going to give you a link to the actual YouTube page. Yeah, that's my store down there. If you're interested in a gadget that makes eurorack power cables, easy. And then
just waiting for this to.
If you want to find out more about the cables, you can come to my YouTube channel, which is Rance is about to post. I deleted my I had a little piece of text there, but I never used it, so I can't remember it. There you go. Thanks, mate. Yep. So
there you go. So look, if you do get that module from AM Synths and you think to yourself, what have I got myself into? And you're having a bit of a cry, and you don't know how to use a soldering iron. It really isn't hard. It really isn't. I mean, you don't have to touch any of this. This is basically all sorted.
Done.
The only thing you have to touch is the Behringer module, and there's literally only 5 wires that you have to solder, and you poke them through those little holes, put a bit of solder on them. The wires will go out the back of that onto the spots, which Krista showed you before. And you're done. It's actually probably the simplest soldering job that you'll probably ever do, and maybe the only one. But even still, if that is too hard for you, just find a mate that lives down the street that's got a soldering iron that wants to do it for you. These were only, they're £69, this module.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer, £69. Keith's in chat. He probably would have got one. I think he actually ordered one on the show last time he was on.
Yeah.
Keith, let us know if you've done yours yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell us.
Curtains all fine.
Daren, we had to mute you for a sec because you were having a massive, big, huge conversation with your missus.
I didn't realise. I thought I'd muted the mic, and I thought it'd break up curtain gate.
It was interesting.
It wasn't the same. It wasn't a conversation. Sorry. It wasn't a conversation with Ray.
All right.
No.
I get people messaging me all the time, and one thing that they message me about is when I do things bad. They always message me. Like, for example, I haven't done this segment for ages.
Oh.
Yay!
Well, guess what? We're doing it. Starting with this one, a JD 800. Who had one of these?
Wanted one.
I never had one, but I did you?
Yeah, I never had one.
Super saw much?
£4,000.
Yeah.
£2,000. £2,000 UK.
Sorry about all the disconnected things down the bottom. But why don't we go to the live listing, because this is what we do here. Hooray!
Yeah.
This is on Reverb.
Nice bed of roses or
bit of
flowers.
garden. What are
Yeah,
they?
pretty garden.
Tulips.
Yeah.
Are they tulips? Orchids? Tulips? I don't know. I'm not a botanist.
Looks like it's in the bush. Is this an Australian listing?
Don't know.
It kind of looks.
One of the things
Australian
I've always
bush.
liked about this synth is the angles.
Yeah, they're cool, aren't they? I love that. Bold angles.
Let's have everything vertical, and then we'll just have these two little spots on the side.
I also quite like all the sliders because it reminds me of the PG-1000 programmer for the D50, which of course these have a relationship on the similar trajectory.
This synth came out when everyone was whinging to Roland. They were going, "Why are you just doing menu diving synths? We hate you. And they were, "Okay, we'll bring this out." And it was really, really popular. I wonder why. Are you going to actually turn it on?
Oh.
We don't even know if this thing works.
Oh dear.
No.
Oh, he's got the rock drums.
God.
Wow. And the patterns. Wow, he's got the patterns for the rock drum. Wow.
Okay, someone wanted to know
So
where
many
this
hits
is
by
located. This is in Los Angeles, in California, at Michael's Gear Locker. G'day, Michael. There you go.
Is that his gear locker outside?
I think it's his garden. Aaron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Californian bush, yeah. Very similar.
I'm just coughing my way through the show here. Now, what do we need to do? We need to get rid of him and put him there. And we need to get rid of that guy and put that guy. Did that work? No.
No. Ian's still out in the cold.
I'm AWOL.
It's all right, I'll find him. Don't worry. Don't panic. There he is.
I'm there somewhere. Hey, there I am.
Hey.
All right, let's go to the next one. The ARP Pro DGX.
Oh.
DGX. I don't have that thing connected, do I? Do I? No, I'm not going to bother.
I never played one of these.
It's about 2,100 pounds, and this one's coming from Luni in Italy. And believe me, all the people that come from Luni in Italy are not a bunch of loonies. Right. There you go. If you want to get yourself a Pro DGX, it is a digital synthesizer from ARP.
Looks clean. Looks nice and clean.
These things are monophonic. What can I tell you about them? Because I didn't really know a lot about these things, right? And I didn't actually know that ARP did digital synthesizers. So, this predecessor of this is the Pro Soloist. It actually features 30 presets, and it has aftertouch. It looks like the Explorer and the Pro Soloist. They actually look very similar.
It's got the suicide keys.
It has bassoon.
It has, doesn't it? Yeah.
It's got English horn, oboe, clarinet, flute. It is actually a analog synth, by the way, but it's digital because of the presets.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. What else we got?
Fuzz guitar 2. There you go. And fuzz guitar 1.
The banjo.
Every synth needs a banjo. Yeah, banjo. You can't beat a banjo.
Yes. Party's not started until you got a banjo.
Yeah.
This synth's got a hangover.
Yes.
Anyway, that is the Pro DGX. X. What else we got? We have... This one was for Ian. Ian's favourite synthesizer.
Yeah. It is. Well, it is. Yeah, it's my favourite analog synth anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually
And I
really
should
like
never
the.
have sold them.
I really like the Poly 6. They're really
Yeah,
good.
it's
Yeah.
it's all over one of my tracks from.
The reason
years
why I'm
back.
showing this though is because
Not real
people
ones,
sort of
but
want to know what the Behringer factor is, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Time for some graphs.
So we don't have graphs,
Yeah.
but you're looking at Australian dollars, 1,000 if you want to buy the Behringer Poly 6, whatever it's called. Actually, it's probably even less than that, to be fair. But Poly 6 SIX, that is.
Hmm.
Did they even bring it out?
I don't think they've brought it out yet, have they?
Oh, they haven't brought it out yet?
I mean, I have in my Kronos. I have the Poly 6, which is obviously a digital representation. It's not that bad. It's not quite there, but
Oh, it's still in prototype. Okay, so the price I've got is what they said that they're going to release it as. It's like the DeepMind 6 sort of pricing. But anyway, let's have a look at this.
so how much was it?
This was 3,000 Aussie, so 1,500.
It's
Pounds.
about average. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You can pick one up here for about 1,200, 1,400, something like that.
I have to say, when the Behringer one comes out, it'll look very similar because that's actually
It
quite
will,
similar to the DeepMind design,
Hmm.
that chassis. Maybe the reason why they haven't brought it out is because
It's had a MIDI. It's had MIDI fit then.
yeah, that's had a MIDI fit.
Retro MIDI fit. Yeah.
Tubutech or something. Yeah, it says it up there.
Yeah.
Tubutech.
Oh, what's the KLM board?
KLM board from Synth. Don't know.
Yeah.
It's a digital board. Maybe it's a memory patch memory board.
Well, it has. I mean, it has patch memory. I mean, that's. I did love that synth though. And then I had the opportunity to buy it back, and like a fool, I didn't.
A KLM board is the actual Korg manufactured board. So maybe
All right.
they've updated the voicing board or something on it. Because if I remember rightly, a lot of the Korg chipboards have got KLM
Yeah. Yes.
as part numbers.
The Poly 800 has KLM all over.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
circuit boards.
I mean, I remember Cork telling me that you know, if you haven't changed the battery, it'll need changing because by now it's.
That's every synth.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at this one. Now, I showed this one for a reason. Because you can get this one from Perfect Circuit. It is used. And I do like to show people, you know, especially if they're in the US, because a lot of the US people watch this show on replay. But Perfect Circuit they're not sponsoring this show or anything like that. I just think they're a good business. They do used products. And I just think to myself, $449 US is actually pretty good. This means this synth is holding its value. I've got one of these.
Yeah. I had one. I shouldn't have sold it really.
Yep.
But I sold it and got a XD, a Minilog XD.
Yeah. Now I don't know if you can get them anymore. Can you? The Minilog, the actual Minilog.
The Minilog. In fact, I will go and check as we speak. How's that? Tell you whether they are still a current item.
Oh, you can still get it. Well, you can get it in Australia. $799. There's about 20 in stock in Australia. Yeah, you can. You can still get them. They're on sale. They're $100 off. So normally they're $8.99 Aussie dollars.
Yep, it's still a current model.
Okay, so what is $4.49 in Aussie dollars? Let's have a look. $4.49 US to AUD is 680. 680 for a used versus $7.99 for a new. There you go. Chatties. There's a dilemma for you. When you're buying used gear and you know that you can get it brand new, and you've come across this dilemma, you can give it $680 of your money, or you can go $799 of your money and get a brand new one. Which do you go for, and why?
Brand new one. Guarantee for a start.
Yeah, they've got a Korg have got a 2-year warranty, I believe. Is that right?
2-year guarantee.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you got a 2-year warranty.
Sometimes from your dealer you can get a 3-year warranty. Sometimes your dealer will give you an extra year.
Never go for that.
Kosh always buys new. New. Everyone's going new. Warranty, brand new. Look at
I would
that.
buy new. Yeah.
So would you say Perfect Circuit may need to adjust their price?
Definitely.
You'd think so, but they may be playing a different game. Maybe the audience is not quite the audience we think it is. Maybe the people who are going to snap that up aren't the people who are browsing the website, but they're the people who actually walk in. I mean, we've seen inside Perfect Circuit thanks to Andy SynthAddict's wonderful videos.
Yeah.
It's a very much a, you walk in the door and immediately your wallet starts to open involuntarily.
Wagoo's a non-conformist. Look at that in chat. Everyone's new. Wagoo's like, used.
Used.
I've saved a couple of quid.
I did actually prefer the XD, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I did too. But when I got mine, I already had that, and the XD came out like 12 months later or whatever it was. I just went, I'm not going to sell this. I still like this. Yeah.
I mean, I only sold my
XD
XD
before you buy it.
Yeah.
Because a customer wanted it, and I said it's. I've used it in the studio, and when and Korg didn't have any at the time, and it was like we were waiting months for them, so I sold it to him.
This is Bert going around like used synth.
Sniff test. Giving it the sniff test.
Smell it before you buy it.
Yes.
During the week, I had a bit of a massive, well, not a bit of a massive problem with my reverb shop. And do you know when you get a feeling that when you sell something, you get a feeling, I think that something's gonna go wrong with this. Yeah. So I've had 2 or 3. I packaged this MIDI controller up like I didn't have the original box, so I packaged it like you wouldn't believe. I put polystyrene foam around it. I put bubble wrap I probably used about $50 worth of bubble wrap, and I manufactured my own box because I couldn't get a box that would fit this thing, so I used so much gaffer tape on this thing as well. This thing was packaged like you wouldn't believe, and it had to go from here all the way to the US. And my error was that when I put the listing up, I listed it as a 61 key controller, and it's only a 49 key controller.
Oops.
Yep. People, check your listings. I had to give the person a refund, and I'm not going to post it back to Australia at the rate that this thing was. So I just said, just keep it. And I had to give him a full refund.
Oh, wow.
So I'm out of pocket $400.
Bugger.
That's tough.
Yep.
Good timely lesson. Check your listing details.
Yep.
And we have all made those mistakes before. I've done this
I felt like an absolute douche.
When I first posted my 700, which I've had several offers on, and all of them have been stupid, and I've had 3 scams on Reverb, people trying to rip me off on that. I inadvertently, although it said a 700, and it was, with this modification that it's got, further down the list now, I inadvertently put that it was the S. Luckily, somebody did say to me, this isn't the S because the S has got the extra oscillator. Oh yeah, thanks very much, mate. And I was able to alter it before, But yeah, we all make those mistakes.
Yeah, of course we do. Nobody's perfect. Just a bit more expensive when selling overseas, I guess.
Yeah.
The moral of the story is double, triple check.
I won't be selling big items overseas anymore.
Yeah.
I've stopped. I've stopped selling outside the UK for big items. I mean, actually through eBay, and I won't do big items like this anyway. But I do use the global shipping for some things that's less than £100. You know, but yeah, it's more hassle than it's worth, really. You know, I mean, I remember. So, do you remember? I don't know. I've told you. I sold a microphone, a vintage microphone. It was Rello something. It's one of the ones that the Beatles used to use in the 60s. So 1960s microphone. It's valve. Okay, this guy in Switzerland wants it, but his studio is in France. He's got a studio in France, studio in Switzerland. He says, "Can you ship it to France?" I said, "Yeah, no problem at all." So I ship it to France. It gets gets outside the UK. It gets to customs in France, and they reject it. They never said why they rejected it.
Yeah.
So it came all the way back, you know. And then he said that, well, I still want it, because I offered him a refund. He said, no, I still want it, but will he ship it to my studio in Switzerland, and then I'll take it to France in the car? I went, yeah. Shipped it, did exactly the same thing again, you know, and got there, no problem at all. So, you know, sometimes the customs themselves can be the problem.
Yeah, they can do. If they find certain issues with paperwork or something, if something's not quite right, it doesn't have to be a high threshold for them to reject.
And I have I've got the right Aurora numbers. I said exactly what it was, all of that sort of stuff, you know. And it was just for some reason they decided not.
Sometimes they just have an off day. Someone's having a bad day at work, and that stuff gets rejected.
Yeah,
unfortunately. Yeah. Still, Rants, back on your issue, I would say think of all the correct and accurate decisions you've made that saved you money over the many, many years.
Yeah.
What, and that one just unraveled it all?
Well, that's why you do. That's why we do it. That's why we save all the money, so that we've got room for our mistakes.
So the other thing was,
because we're human.
The other thing was the postage had insurance on it, but it's a 10-day claim period.
Oh.
And this person took 14 days because Reverb's got a longer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's got a longer.
So you couldn't claim.
Thing. I couldn't claim. Yeah. So I couldn't even claim it on the postage insurance.
Bugger.
But having said that, so I've learned a few things from this. Number one, probably not going to send big items to the US anymore. Number two, I'm not going to send through that particular carrier overseas anymore, because I found out if I sent through just Australia Post, which is our government postage service, the claiming period is 12 months.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, 10 days, 12 months, I'll be going with you guys.
Yeah.
That was a no-brainer.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Yes,
because you pay extra. You pay extra for insurance, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
you do. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I do. I insure my packages from my Etsy store.
Yeah,
because
I insure mine as well.
You know, sometimes people have a problem with a module and they just say, they can't use it. I want money back. So I want to make sure that, or stuff could get lost. So I'm just like, it's not worth it. And it's not too much.
I mean, certainly stuff getting lost is an issue.
Yeah.
You know, they send lost items sent to go in spades, you know, because we do really small items. We just do large letter post, you know, through the UK postal system. And because it's not tracked, you've got you can't claim for it, you know, and it will just disappear. Like we had one parcel arrive, and the guy sent it to me, and he says, I haven't opened it, but somebody's opened it. So I said, can you send me a picture? And what somebody had done, it was just through the UK post. He took a picture of it, and it was still technically sealed, but somebody had opened it, took what was inside out, put it back in, and then it was posted to him.
Wow.
So somewhere in the system, probably in a postal office somewhere.
So that should never happen.
Absolutely. It's only ever happened once, but that's just
These particular modules here, the ones I keep showing, they ended up going from
Latvia, is it? Latvia? No,
Bucharest.
Lithuania.
Bucharest in Romania, all the way to somewhere in Italy. And they sat in Italy for about 6 weeks or 5 weeks or something like that. And then the owner of Feedback Modules finally worked out that there was something going dodgily wrong with the courier service. So they ended up going all the way back from Italy to Romania, and then he had to repackage them, and then they got sent back through here to me. And as you guys know, I did the mailbag video showing that, and they were even opened in customs here as well.
Yes.
So it's just
I mean,
weird.
I'm not going to give you the full story, but because I did explain it on Kent's show on Thursday. But I had real issues with this on Amazon. Upside down. So this, just to give you the potted version, because this is an expensive item, the 300 quid. Apparently, our Amazon driver tried to deliver it, but didn't because I was in. Then he tried the next day and tried to deliver it again, and I saw the van go straight past, and he was coming with another parcel, and he wanted the code for that for the other parcel. So there was some sort of scam going on.
He was trying to steal
and I wouldn't give it to him. Yeah, I wouldn't give it to him. I said, no. It was just a little keyboard shell thing that I've got down here. Said, no, that doesn't need a code. But I actually did get onto Amazon. It took me a good couple of hours to actually get to speak to somebody, and then it got resent. But clearly there was, and we're aware of that now. But that sort of stuff shouldn't be happening. Yeah, I think you're right. I think he was trying to steal it because it's an expensive item.
Yeah.
And we've already had that once already. We had some pans stolen. Right,
you guys are probably going to. The UK is probably going to hit that harder, I reckon. Do you remember in probably about 10 years ago, 5 years ago, there was that in the US they had that really famous YouTuber that did the glitter bombs with the parcels because people were stealing parcels off people's porches. So that's because of Amazon. Yeah. And because so many people get Amazon stuff delivered, like it's literally just like stuff sitting on people's front yards for the taking. Just grab it. Hey, look, there's a microwave. Hey, there's a new watch, a new
easy
iPhone.
Money.
Yep.
Yeah, because it was funny when they stole the pans, because literally we got an induction hob now. We had no pans that worked, so I ordered on Amazon. They come next day, and I was actually in. I was painting the porch by the front door this Sunday. And it's supposed to arrive. I'm checking it and looking out for it. Never rings the doorbell. Takes a photo, and we think he took a photograph of it by the front door because it was by our front door. And then I open the door and it's not there. Now everybody in the area, and I live in quite a nice area, and people say, no, that doesn't happen around here. Nobody walking past will steal a parcel off your. You never say never, but the reality is. It was probably minutes, no more than 10 minutes.
Wow.
That I wasn't out there. And I suspect he put it down, took the photograph, and then flogged it to his mate.
Yeah, exactly.
Allegedly.
Sorry, I got my remnants of my cold.
No biscuit. I didn't say pants. I said pans. Kitchen pans.
We had this. So the Australia Post in our country, they sometimes use contract couriers to deliver. So
actually happens here now. Yeah.
You can tell whether it's a contract courier distribution centre or the actual post office delivering your mail. And we had this period where the actual real postie would rock up. In Australia, they've got these really cool new electric quad sort of bike things now that they do up to about 20. They do about 25 k's an hour. These things, and they're actual real, employees they're not contractors. And then if you do get a contractor, they rock up in a van, a plain white van, no markings, nothing on it. And we had this one guy for a little period where he would do the trick that he was trying to do with you, Ian, where he would drive past our house. And his van door would open, and then it would close. And I reckon it had something to do with GPS.
Yeah, because they track them, don't they?
So they're tracking them, and the door had to open for it to register that he opened the parcel. I don't know. But we would never get these parcels delivered. And then you'd get this little card in the mailbox. We were home. We'd see this van go past, and then like 5 minutes later, we'd be looking at them. There's a card of them. What the hell? We were here. He'd never come up to the the front door or anything like that. Anyway, so after about a month of us putting up with this idiot, we went into the place where the post office is, which is a government-owned one, and we said, look, what can we do about this guy? He's literally just choosing not to deliver the parcel. We're seeing him drive past. And they said, have you got a camera that you can set up? And we went, yeah. And I've got one of those Arlo type wireless monitoring cameras. So I pointed it at the letterbox, and we've got a 2-story house, so you could see the road, you could see the letterbox, and you could see cars driving backwards and forwards. And we just had to like record every day, and it will only record when it picks up movement, so it would only pick up cars going past and stuff. Anyway, we finally got this guy on video, and so I went back in there and I gave the video to this guy on a thumb drive, and I said, we got him, look, it's on this video, and he's plugged it into his computer, and he's getting all the staff in. Hey, check out this guy. He's like, hugging around the computer watching this guy.
Wow.
And he apparently they sacked him the next day.
Wow.
He was a contractor, so the contractor company had to sack him. And we never again, we've never had a problem with parcels, probably because there's like if you go to the Adamson's house, make sure you deliver the parcel because he's got a camera.
You reckon the word got around, do you reckon, Rance? Yeah, you're probably right. The Perth grapevine of couriers, yeah.
Yeah,
they
so
all know
Ian,
each other.
chuck a camera up, mate. You'll catch that guy.
Well, I've got a camera up, actually. There's a camera literally outside here, but I could point it certainly over the fence.
Yeah.
You know,
catch him out.
And yeah,
because if he's stealing parcels or if he's trying to scan the wrong code and take the wrong box, you know what I mean? That's a bit of a trick that they do. You can catch it on camera.
Yeah. Because when he brought the other parcel, he said, "Oh, I want the code. I said, "There isn't a code for that." And I knew. I said, "You," because I actually then looked at the update on the computer, and I went back out and I said, "Look, it says that you've tried to deliver it now." "Oh no, it's not on the part. It's not on the van. It's not on the van." You know, so we had all that sort of business going on. You know, but we're wise to him now. So we're actually going to. There's a locker, an Amazon locker, literally sort of 5 minutes down the road. So we're going to have things sent there.
We can't.
While this guy is around,
we can't order some things to a locker. So it's actually really frustrating because you think, oh, this is a great idea. I'll get a locker. It's secure. I don't have anything go missing. But you can't get stuff posted to it because certain places won't post to it.
Yeah, I had that problem the other day. But as a sender. So I want someone in Queensland ordered a module from me, but he gave me a post office box. And when I went through my normal processes, it said, "Oh no, sorry, we don't do post office boxes. Click here to find out why." And it was like, we are a service which works on the relationship between people and there's all this kind of stuff. Okay, right. So what do I do now? So yeah, in the end, Rance, Australia Post, completely happy to send it to a post office box.
Yeah, but they're a pain in the butt to deal with.
That's the only problem.
I could have stuff sent to the office because normal office hours, there's always somebody there.
There's always someone there.
The problem is where the actual mail area. It's not even a mail room. The mail area. Anybody could walk in and take a parcel if you know about it. So I don't send any parcels there. Because then after that, somebody then comes and collects it and takes it up to our office. So that seems even less safe. Yeah. So it's almost better to wait in.
Yes. Well, we had a bit of. We've had rants. We've had
rants. Yes.
We've had rants and rants.
I feel cleansed. I feel cleansed.
Box openings. New products.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Current discussion from Daren.
Curtains.
It was curtains, wasn't it?
It's curtains for Daren.
Yeah, it was curtains.
Yeah.
It was curtains. See, this is the fun time, isn't it? When we just literally just yak whatever.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what. That's what.
Absolutely.
Some people tell me that this is the best part of the show. I don't know why, but okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Listening to me
Because-
clear my throat all show.
because you never know where-
been good.
You never know where it's going to go. That's why.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
It's
Crumpet.
It's the slight. Yeah,
just
you
go
mean
off, innit?
is it the danger, the slightly unhinged nature? What are they?
Yeah,
Who's going to
exactly.
say something they shouldn't?
Yeah.
We should call it the
It's
"Get
fine,
Off My
It'll,
Lawn" segment.
it'll be me. It'll be me.
Yeah.
A couple of old cronies. Get off my lawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The trouble with you young folks, you and your bloody modular. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're not like that.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're going to probably end it, I think, because almost pumpkin time. We'll have an early mark for this week because I got to get up early tomorrow, coaching a soccer game tomorrow morning.
And you're still recovering.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm going to be yelling tomorrow. I think I'll probably just won't yell. I'll probably just let them
Yeah.
run rampant.
Hand gestures.
Hand gestures. Like, yeah. Would you like me to peel that back for you? There's a hand gesture.
Stepping away from the screen.
All right. Well,
I have not coached a soccer team.
let's. I think it's been pretty quiet news-wise. So I'm because of Superbooth. It literally everyone just dumps everything at Superbooth.
Yeah.
I feel like during the next couple of weeks we might have to sort of fill the show up with some other interesting things. This is why I did the box opening.
Did you know that the Studio Logic have discontinued the Sledge?
I actually thought it was a while ago, but was it only just recently?
Yeah. I saw it on on the Facebook, one of the Facebook groups about Sledge, and somebody highlighted it. So I don't know quite when it happened, but I'm slightly. I mean, I have to say the software was always crap on that, and it is built like a bag of spanners. Although I love it as a synth, I like the one knob control.
Yeah.
And I won't sell it, unless.
What's a Valdorf
I get it.
synth inside, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've basically got
But,
a glorified Blofeld, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And there's lots of people have had problems with them. Touch wood, I haven't had any problems with mine. But I don't tend to update it because there's no need to really. It works. I put a load of patches into it occasionally, and I write patches in it. But I'm sorry to see him discontinue it to some extent.
Well, I mean, you can just get a Blofeld if you want one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If I need the space, that's the other thing to do, isn't it? Yeah.
But to be
And
fair,
that's why I bought it originally.
I think that's better than a Blofeld because of the knob function. Because that's the thing I hated about the Blofeld was all the menu diving.
Yeah. That's exactly why I bought it. I mean, I have gigged it twice, but it's very fragile. So because it's really is a piece of plastic.
I
Crap.
wonder if you can use them to control a Blofeld via MIDI. That'd be interesting.
You probably can actually. I mean, I think Nick Batt was saying that he really liked to use it as a controller. Which is something I've never really done. It's on the. It is MIDI to the Model D. Because the Model D obviously needs a keyboard, because all of this is now wired, but I haven't done anything with MIDI at all apart from the Model D to that really. And I've just put my Hydrasynth right in front of it, which you can't see.
They're $1,000 in Australia, £500. They're $1,000 if you want to buy one. There's one in Perth, sitting at Mega Music. If you want to get one, Chris. I know you're not a synth, you're not a synth person and such, but if you wanted to get yourself a Sledge,
Sledge. Huh?
Yeah, there's one sitting in Mega Music.
I really like
in
it.
MkII, which is very close to you.
Yeah, I was going to say I drive past that every day to work.
Yep.
Well, I have
and-
local-
Must not go in. Must not go in. Must go to work.
I'm going to say they might get even cheaper if they either get cheaper or more expensive. I suspect they'll probably get cheaper. You know,
It's interesting because there's a black edition, right? Which is the one you've got.
That's the black one
with the orange/yellowy knobs on them. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's $1,099, and then there's another one in the same shop, which I don't think it's in stock. I think it just might be.
Is it the orange one?
It's the orange one, which is $1,479.
That's the Mark 1. Really?
What's the deal with? They're exactly the same thing.
They're exactly the same. I mean, the Mark 1 is the orange one, and the Mark 2 is the black one. But you know, from a software point of view, once you've updated the software, it's exactly the same.
Exactly the same. And speaking of that, the black one is still cheaper than the orange one all over our country. So get the black one. There's one left.
Yeah. Get the black one.
There's one left in Australia. Go. All right, guys.
Definitely a fun thing. It's good. Sounds good.
Play with your sledges.
I
might have a few sledges for some of these little lads on the soccer field tomorrow. Speaking of sledges. Well, maybe I might say, get off my lawn. Yeah. Anyway, do check out all the things that we said during the show on the blog article, which is ranzee.com. You'll see it on there. Don't forget to check out Chris's stuff. He's got his link permanently under him now. And don't forget to check out Daren's music and Babs's music, which we put all the links through the chat, so you would have seen that. Big thank you to Daren and Chris and Ian for being on the show, and also the Chatties. And we'll see you guys next Saturday. Have a good week.
See you guys.
Big thanks to you, Rance. Yeah.
Take
All the
care.
best, guys.
Collaboration
Cheers,
track out tomorrow, everybody. So watch that.
Hey.
Yes.
Good stuff.
New release. Nothing like a new release.
Bye, everyone.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.